Well, there we go. I accidentally did not unmute the mic. Welcome to League of Legends Rec League Week 4. I'm giving this introduction again. We've already talked about the picks and bans, but you guys didn't get to hear our lovely voices. I am Ostopolis, and next to me I have Dan Lovegun Dankert. We are going to be casting the first three games of the Northwest Bank versus Chalk Bites, and we're currently in the pick and ban phase with your CC comps from both sides. Lovegun was giving us a little bit of information on what these two comps have to bring to the table for both sides. Would you like to summarize what you had said before when you were muted?
Yeah, no, I think that both teams really got the pick ban phase right here. You see Chalk Bites, I think their initial 3 bans are excellent. What they're doing is they're taking out champions that can snowball the game really hard. Shaco with 1 or 2 kills can really start taking over a game. Same with Yasuo, same with Draven. So taking those off the table allows them a little bit more of a gap to try to make it to late game. If you look at their team comp, it's filled with CC, it's filled with tankiness, but they still have carry threats with the Swain and the Xayah, who, if they get to late game, could be really powerful. Another thing here to kind of go with that late game themed comp, you have an Ornn. The Ornn passive, by the end of the game, will be distributing extra bonus stats to all of the champions, which means they're going to be able to reach higher effective stats if this game goes to 60 minutes, if it goes to 50 minutes, than Northwest Bank is able to. Also, some interesting things with Northwest Bank's comp. I think the Ezreal and Lissandra are both really strong picks this patch. And they can really take over a game. One of the interesting picks there, though, that I would say is the Nocturne pick. With the changes to jungle experience over the past several patches, it takes junglers roughly 30 seconds to 45 seconds longer to reach their level 6. With Nocturne being a champion that really needs his ultimate to complete his kit, it's going to be denying his power spike. It's going to be denying his ability to really affect the map and affect all of the lanes as well as he possibly could. So we'll see if that's going to play a role in this game. But I think the big storyline here is both Chalk Bites and Northwest Bank are coming off 2 weeks in their last competitive week. Both are looking to build upon that momentum, and we'll see how they can utilize these team comps going into the game.
Yeah, very well said. Really good to see that we're going to be going into a game that are very strong. 2 very strong teams are going to be competing against each other. Hopefully, we get a 3-game series. We haven't seen a 3-game series yet within any of the games we've had for these 4 weeks. We will be getting into games shortly. We have another minute to go for the spectator delay, and then we'll hit it to the loading screen. Is there anything else you would like? I would actually like to thank our sponsors real quick, such as St. Ambrose University, Intel, and then Respawn Gaming Chairs. Without them, the stream wouldn't be happening today. We're really thankful for them.
I think one of the things to do when you're looking at both of these team comps is think about win conditions. I think Chalk Bites' win condition is really straightforward. It's hold on during the early game, don't suffer too far in lane. For example, both the Xayah is she's sort of strong in lane, but isn't necessarily as strong, and Ornn also kind of has been suffering in the laning phase since his changes. Whereas Northwest Bank, they have very powerful laners, right? Ezreal, once he's able to get a Tyr and a Sheen and into his Trinity Force, really strong, especially in the mid game. Aatrox, Lissandra, really strong in the mid game. If they're able to start building those advantages, they can snowball this game throughout the mid game into the late game before Chalk Bites is ever able to hit that late game scaling that'll help them win once they get to 6 items. If these fights are going on at 2-3 items and Northwest Bank has a lead, they're going to be able to dominate these team fights. If they're able to if Chalk Bites is able to delay the game until 6 items, 5 items, you'll see the Swain and the Xayah really be able to do a ton in team fights. And it's going to be, can Chalk Bites hold on long enough to reach that point where the scales start to tip in their favor, when the game really starts to balance towards them, where they have, I think, where their power, their spike really starts to hit at 5 or 6 items. Gotta love to see that Prestige Blood Moon Aatrox skin.
Man,
one of the best skins in the game right now.
You think he grinded for it, or you think he actually just got it? Just bought it right off of the...
I mean, I'd love to hope that he grinded for it, but it's hard. You have to grind a ton of games. When the Akali Prestige skin was out, I was grinding like crazy, and I think I ended like 200 short of the coins that you needed for it, so it's really tough to get there. It takes a ton of games.
And now that we're in game, we're going to see if there'll be any jungle pathing, maybe any invades. You could see possibly the side of Northwest Bank going in for an invade with the Nautilus support. with the
Definitely. Nautilus level 1, it's not a Braum level 1 in terms of how good it is, but it's still up there, right? The Nautilus hook level 1 is really strong with his passive. As long as he hits that Q, his hook, he's able to actually stun again with his auto attack. One of the things that's really interesting about Nautilus is that it's arguably the most CC in the game, and it's really tanky. And considering they also have follow-up CC, if, like, let's say Lissandra wanted to take her W, or even though we probably wouldn't want to do this, Nocturne could take a Sphere. So they have a decent level 1, but it looks like everyone's just kind of spread out doing the default level 1. You'll see a lot in pros where
pretty much the
they're
5 point.
Yeah, looking at the entrances, making sure there isn't any funny business going on level 1, just playing more standard. Though it looks like the Northwest Bank bottom lane is looking to see if someone will step out.
Yeah, and I mean, if Nautilus lands a hook, there's going to be a quick CC. Swain might just have to flash.
Oh, he hit it. Oh, Nocturne, not Nocturne, Ezreal missed the Q. With Kleptomancy, that early Q could actually be a really big advantage if he gets it. He's able to get some gold and start that scaling, so...
There will be a ward placed onto the bush so that Swain can get a little bit of extra vision to see if Nocturne will be trying to get the Scuttle Crab. Nocturne will be starting red buff though on the top side of the map, and it will be Mumu starting blue side as well. So that Xayah and Leona will be getting early level advantage over the side of Northwest Bank.
Yeah, we'll see how they decide to play the level 1 and 2. With Leona, you have Relic Shield, and there's a lot of really interesting things that you can do with Relic Shield in order to try to set yourself up for a better level 2. For example, you can not use any of your Relic Shield stacks in the first wave, save it for the second wave, use both of them on the 2 of the melee minions, and you can like guarantee yourself a freeze in the middle of the wave, but then hitting level 2 with enough space to really actually engage and force summoners out of the other team.
Okay. But as we can see right now, we're just looking at a little bit of the early game. Not much is going to be going on really right now. There was
Nautilus landed a hook. Looks like good DPS coming out from the Ezreal. They burned heal, which seemed to be probably didn't need to do, but honestly, you can never be too careful. If you if you give up a kill early game in a lane like this, you can really snowball out of control. So probably didn't need to heal, but you can't really blame them for healing in that situation.
No, and especially with Chalkbites, it looks like you said that is Chalkbites the Marshbuoy is on the other team on the
QC Bank.
It looks like Aatrox has already shoved in the wave on the Ornn. Ornn doesn't really have much that he can pressure against Aatrox, so he's just gonna have to sit back pretty much all day, try to lane at the tower, hope that he can get some farm racked up, be able to buy himself a couple of items, and then just become a full-on tank. He's not a Scion, of course, where he just doesn't need the most items. And there we go, we get a first blood going on to Lissandra, killing the Mumu, and it might be 2, but Swain ends up flashing away, and it'll be 1 picked up for the side of Northwest Bank.
This gives a new base the bot side jungle from Chalkbites, so he's going to be able to take the Raptor camp, and if he wants, he can also grab the golems, which will be a really big experience boost for him if he decides to go for that invade and grab those camps. Amumu is also not a very good early game jungler, so if they do meet again, even though a new base has taken some damage, he likely, especially if he has a level advantage, could still win that skirmish. Also, if you look, both mid and bot have priority for Northwest Bank, so if Chalkbites do try to contest the jungle invade, likely you'd be just giving over more kills to Northwest Bank at this point.
And it looks like Northwest Bank has some vision control already set up into the blue side of the Chalkbites jungle, so they'll be able to know when Mumu is going to be going to the top side, so Aatrox can back off since he's already pushed in so much. And then bot lane, it doesn't look like that there's so much vision, so if Mumu were to go in onto the Ezreal, he could be able to get a little bit of CC down. There's not much mana, and they could get a potential kill there. But with how much CC that Nautilus has, he would most likely, but as we speak about this, Nocturne is going right into a Mumu. There's both flashes being blown, a couple tower shots being taken, but I do not think that Mumu is going to want to take that trade.
No, I mean, Amumu already is kind of tough to play early game, and now without his flash, he has to be even more careful. But like I said, when you have Amumu early game, if they meet in the jungle, even though a new base hadn't backed yet, had some damage done to him, he's still that much stronger in terms of the early game that he can really threaten him in the Chalkbites jungle. As we keep going, it's pretty clear that topside's looking like a bit of a problem for Chalkbites. Ornn's really being pushed under the tower and being threatened pretty heavily by this Aatrox. It's a pretty big CS lead right now, 33 to 12. The Ornn doesn't need as much gold as, let's say, an Aatrox does to be effective in this game. He still does need still needs effective stats, and it looks like he's going to be denied that pretty quick. Ooh, the Aatrox did, in fact, get the solo kill up top, which means that economy that the Ornn doesn't have is only going to get worse as this game goes on.
Yes, and as we were talking about that, Lissandra did end up picking up another kill onto the Amumu in the jungle at some point. And that's really going to snowball this Lissandra out of control. She already has really good lane presence in the early game, and with getting her a couple items inside of her kit, getting a couple items at this moment, she's going to be able to become unstoppable, roaming into the mid game, possibly going to bot lane for a couple ganks.
And when we talked about win conditions at the beginning of this game, it was about Northwest Bank capitalizing on the early to mid game, and it looks like they're doing that really well. They already have a 2,500 gold lead, which is going to make Chalkbytes really difficult to contest anything throughout the mid game at this point. Dragons, Rift Herald, anything. This is just only going to get tougher from this point on until very late in the game.
Yeah, and then as we're talking about that, Anubis is still constantly pressuring the Mumu away from his jungle. He's already taken him half health. He's not letting him take anything from him. What level is he right now? It looks like he's only level 3. Mumu might be only level 3. He only has a couple items while Anubis is just steamrolling him in pressure, getting a lot more CS than he is, and he's being able to counter jungle, vertically jungling as well. And it's going to be really hard for Mumu to catch back up. It looks like a fight is going to go on in the top lane between Ornn and Aatrox. Aatrox taking dealing a lot of damage though to Gaming Gavin. So he's going to have to heal up, and I don't know if he's going to have enough money to buy Ruby Crystal or anything, so he's going to have to try to back maybe, but he doesn't have TP either, so he'll probably have to stay in the lane.
Yeah, that's questionable for Ornn to take that fight. There's probably no time in this game where he's able to actually 1v1 effectively, but it looks like there might be a counter kill onto Anubis by Gaming Gavin. No, Anubis is going to get out of there. That's got to be really heartbreaking for the Chalkbytes, not being able to get that counter kill.
And 3 deaths already onto Amumu. He's really getting... Oh, and the flash with the Q going onto Ornn. Aatrox is also going to try to ult and get another kill onto the Swain, get him for the double kill, but it looks like he's just going to pop the ult, head back, heal a little bit. Swain's going to use his ult. Chica Boss trying to get another kill onto Aatrox, but he's just going to get demolished. Golden Boy is going to be on a killing spree right now.
Second that World Ender came out, Swain should have been pretty scared of what was going on there. Aatrox heals when he does damage to champions, and when he came up and there was almost an even health after the World Ender was popped, Swain was in trouble, and he should have just backed off from that 1v1 attempt.
It looks like another kill going on to Lissandra, getting taking out the jungler. It looks like it doesn't seem like there's much vision control for the side of Chalkbytes. They don't know that a lot of wards been placed on the blue side of the jungle, and Lissandra and Anubis have been able to prioritize taking over the game because of that.
Yeah, Anubis, when he has his ult, when he decides to use it, it's going to be really hard for any of the Chalkbytes members to survive it. He already has quite a bit of attack damage, already with Serrated Dirk, so he already has some lethality going. He's going to do an incredible amount of damage, and it looks like, even though he didn't get his ult till later, and it's pretty late in the game to have not ulted yet, it doesn't look like it's mattered because his lanes have just been so dominant thus far.
Yep, and then each lane has a good CS lead for the side of Northwest Bank. I mean, Ezreal is already up by 30 CS. You have Aatrox, who's up by another 30 CS. I mean, these leads are not only kills, but the CS differential is just going to rack on more gold. And there's a fight going on in the jungle for the red buff. It looks like the bottom lane is just going to steal this away. There won't be any deaths, but I think Amumu is going to be devastatedly not going to be able to take it. But as you talk about
Here comes that first Nocturnal. Able to get onto the backline, able to do a lot of damage. This is going to be a really big fight for Northwest Bank. Already up 11 kills to 0. This team is just rolling right now, playing really, really well.
And it looks like that Nocturne, Anubis was able to pick up a double kill, and then there's 4 members dead for the side of Chalkbytes. It's currently 11-0. I mean, what is it? An 8k gold difference for the side of Northwest Bank. It's just going to be very hard to come back right now from Chalkbytes. And as you were talking before, Chalkbytes need to slow this game down in any way, shape, or form so that they can get the power spikes for the Xayah and for their Swain.
They needed to hold on, and it doesn't seem they were able to do so. This Northwest Bank, all these laners are really talented. They're really high ELO players, and they definitely are showing it today. Here again, we see Amumu actually trying to go for the the fight, and it's a little tough for him. This Ezreal's only going to continue to scale. He already has a sizable gold lead, but he's running Klepto, right? So there's even more effective gold being put in his pockets. So this Ezreal, once he gets Trinity Force and his Mana Moon, is going to be really strong, and it's not going to be very long until he has both of those. Mana Moon's already completed. He has a Sheen. Even he doesn't even really need the completed Trinity Force. Even that Mana Moon Sheen combo this early is going to hit like a truck. When they changed the Ezreal QW combo, instead of the Essence Flux being like an attack speed boost, it does so much more damage. Thinking back to the LCS this past weekend, at one point Sneaky, the Cloud9 AD carry, hit a W and Q on a Lissandra, almost one-shot her with that. Lissandra ended up using Self-ult, but after the ult just dominated a full health Lissandra late game. So it's unbelievable how much just raw damage Ezreal can put out.
And it looks like that Lissandra took another kill. Up in the top lane, there was 2 kills going off, and right now Xayah completely whiffing her ult, going the opposite direction. I'm not sure if Xayah is able to get away. Ezreal and Nautilus are running for their lives as Swain pops his ultimate. He's chasing down the Ezreal, but I'm not sure he's going to be able to get it. TP's coming down from Aatrox. Leona's about to get down. Golden Boy's dominating right now. The E landing on the Ezreal, but I don't think he's going to get a kill. Swain very low, but he's going to be able to survive this trade as well. But Lissandra and Aatrox are coming down. Nocturne ult popping, and they're going to go for a tower dive here. 2 kills going on the side of Northwest Bank, and it looks like the tower is going to go down as well.
Yeah, this is just that mid-game really starting to take over for Northwest Bank. They already have that spike as it was coming, plus a massive gold lead. It really enables them to kind of disregard the turrets to an extent.
Yeah, and we already have bounties on every single head of the side of Northwest Bank. I mean, you got 2 1,000. You have 2 1Ks on Lissandra and on the Aatrox, and you have 850 on Nocturne. So if Chalkbites want to come back into this game, they're going to have to get some picks onto every member to get some gold and try to get it onto Xayah or Swain, especially, so you can get those crit items built. You can get a little bit more damage onto the AD carry so that she can do some damage. But other than that, it's going to be really hard for them to achieve any gold lead from this point on.
And here's the thing. The 2 people who have 1,000 gold bounties, Aatrox and Lissandra, are incredibly hard to kill. Even if you 3-person or 4-person turret dive them, you still have to go through both their ultimates that are really good defensively. Aatrox gets dive, he pops the World Ender, he's able to come back up. You have to tank the tower the entire time. Lissandra, if she gets tower dove, she pops ult on herself, she's healing, forcing you to take turret longer.
But right there, I don't think he had the World Ender, so that they got Ornn was able to get a shutdown with a Mumu onto the Golden Boy. So they were able to get that shutdown onto him. They get the 1,000 gold, and he still has another 650 gold bounty on him. So if they can keep getting these shutdowns, they would be able to possibly bring this game back. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get it onto Innis. It looks like DRN is going to be able to pop Panchero right now. He's unstoppable now. He's going to have more of a bounty, and it looks like they're going to take the blue buff as well.
One of the things from that fight, though, is that Lissandra did use her ultimate on Amumu, so for the time being, she's going to be a little bit vulnerable, but it doesn't look like that's going to particularly matter.
Anubis picking up another kill onto the Swain, picking up a second kill for the side of Northwest Bank. It's currently 19-1. Gaming Gavin's just going to go back to lane, but that's a little scary because he knows that Northwest Bank is still around. I mean, they're in this blue side jungle, so if Aatrox is to get a lot of good knockup, it looks like this is just going to be a free kill for the side of Northwest Bank.
Yeah, a little bit of mispositioning there. Even just seeing Aatrox coming, Aatrox is so huge, even Aatrox himself should have got him very scared, let alone the fact that they had just been in the topside jungle.
And the ultimate coming in from Nautilus, it looks like that both the bot lane duos are just going to have to back away, otherwise they're just going to get killed. So many towers are being taken. It's 3 towers to 1, 20-1 kills. This is very grim point of the game where Chalkbites really have to try to find a pick here if they're going to try to get back into it. And as you can see, Xayah only has Berserker Greaves and a BF sword. She doesn't have her first item built yet, while Ezreal already has his Iceborne Gauntlet and his Mana Mune.
Yeah, one of the nice things about this, though, if you're Chalk Bites, you're looking at this game, your base hasn't been cracked yet. As long as you're able to turtle, you're able to potentially disrupt when Northwest eventually goes for dragons, for Herald, for Baron. Um, it's going to be scary, but as long as your base isn't cracked, there's still hope. This looks brutal coming from the Aatrox, just doing an unbelievable amount of damage. And they're so tanky. They have so many stats already and such a level advantage. It's really tough for Chalk Bites to do anything, even at their own turret. They just pick after pick after pick.
Gaming Gavin using his ultimate to try to zone him, Northwest Bank away from the turret, but he ends up almost getting killed, and he's going to get taken down by the Ezreal. And now that they have the minion wave, Northwest Bank can go for a push, but they are pretty low, so they might just reset and go for the Baron. Go for the Baron here pretty soon. Well, actually they can't. It's only 16 minutes into the game. So
it looks like they're on Herald right now, and Herald will allow them to crack an inhibitor wherever they kind of want to. Once they get that inhibitor this early in the game, it's going to be really hard for Chalk Bites to clear those waves effectively and stop Northwest Bank from taking all of the jungle, all of the waves, everything that they want in this game. Gold's going to continue to swing pretty heavily in Northwest's favor going forward here.
And it looks like they have taken the Herald. Nocturne. The rest of Northwest Bank is going to start resetting, picking up the last of their items. I mean, you're probably going to see more of a full build by the end by 20 minutes, most likely. It's going to be very hard for. It's going to be very easy for Northwest Bank to be able to crack the base open, get a couple inhibitors. I'm not sure if they'll even need Baron to end this game. It looks like Ezreal has almost his third item built. I wonder what he's building. It looks like he's building. What is that item? It's the lifesteal item that, not Essence Reaver.
Is it the new one?
I don't. No, it's not the new one because that has the Kindle gem that way. But it looks like there's a team fight going on. Nocturne, Anubis is gonna be able to take out Swain, getting a double kill onto Leona. Lissandra is gonna get double kill as well, and it looks like they're gonna push to end the game.
They're popping Herald here, yeah.
And that was a very smart move. I mean, they had the minion wave, and now they might try to get the Rift Herald to dance as well, getting some summoner emotes.
One of the big things here, if we look at Northwest Bank's items, they have what they want for their core. When we talk about League of Legends and comps, it's a lot about players hitting their power spikes and having their core items. We see the core items on Ezreal, we see 2 lethality items on Aatrox. These guys are already hitting my trucks, and it's only 18 minutes into the game. They're just cleaning up right now, finishing up this game. The Nexus is exposed, it's just a matter of time here. Going for kills. Ezreal picking up a ton of gold there with that kill.
Golden Boy going unstoppable. And it looks like this is going to be the end of the game. Northwest Bank is going to be able to pick up their first game against Chalk Bites here. It's going to be 1-0 for them.
And you have to say, Golden Boy played an unbelievable game on Aatrox here.
Oh, yes.
Dominated lane. He played a champion where once he got kills, once he got gold, he was able to constantly 1v1 the Orin. There were probably times in that game where if he had his ultimate up, he probably could have 2v1 just because he was that powerful. Like we said at the beginning, this Chalk Bites team had to get to late game, but the window wasn't there for him. Northwest Bank really closed it.
Yes, they did. They were unstoppable. I mean, every member of them were completely fed. There was no way for them to come back, that Chalk Bites could come back from this game. Hopefully when we go into the next game, they'll be able to recuperate, maybe get a different banning phase, or just get a new team comp to counter what Northwest Bank is doing in their comp.
I would love to see some sort of level 1 design for them. Sometimes when you have a really bad game, just getting that first kill, having a level 1 where you can invade, can really reset the mental for a team where maybe they go into this next game otherwise feeling a little bit down because of how the first game played out. But once you get that first kill, it feels like a totally new game. You feel like you're right back at square one and you're able to take it to them. So I'd love to see something in some sort of creative or crafty level 1.
And then with that, we'll go into a quick intermission. We're gonna go, and then we'll come right back in about a few minutes to go into the next game between Chalk Bites and Northwest Bank. I'm your co-host Ostopoulos with my other co-host Dan Buffgun Dankers. I'm gonna get it right.
It's a tough one.
All right, so we are back with the League Northwest Bank over Chalk Bites. It's 1-0 Northwest Bank. Kind of expected. They're pretty good. They come from Augustana, so really good players. They get a really good coach that really helps them out during the game, which it's really expected.
I mean, they're a team full of plat and diamond players, right? I think a new base peaked out. He might have hit Masters here, but I know he at least got to Diamond 1. So they're a really talented team. But looking at this pick and bans, it's sort of interesting what's going on here. Chalk Bites, I really liked their bans last time, the first 3. They decided to switch it up a little bit. I thought if they made any switches, it would be to get rid of that Aatrox, which seemed extremely oppressive. But instead, they banned Lissandra and the Nocturne. They also banned Shaco, which I think is almost required here to ban him against a new base. A new base mains Shaco. Shaco can do an unbelievable amount of early game damage and completely take over the game by himself. From there, we see that Northwest Bank was able to snag Yasuo, Nautilus, and Malphite. If you're familiar with Yasuo, Yasuo's ultimate can only be used when the champions are knocked up, but then Northwest Bank has 2 champions that have really consistent, strong knockups. The first being Nautilus, whose ultimate knocks up everybody who gets in the way between whoever he tries to ultimate, and then Malphite is an AoE knockup that can at times hit 4, 5-person ultimates. So we're talking about just within this first 3 picks, Northwest Bank has an unbelievable team fight just with the Nautilus, the Malphite, and Yasuo. They were able to then add Ezreal and Kindred to that. We already saw how Ezreal played in the first game. It was really strong. It does a ton of damage. Kindred is also one of a new base's strongest champions. Here's one of the things about when you ban and try to ban out a new base. The thing is, the guy has an unbelievably deep champion pool. He plays Kindred a lot in solo queue. He's really strong on the champion. This team comp from Northwest Bank looks amazing. If I had one little gripe about it, it's really AD heavy. You only are getting a little bit of ability power damage from Nautilus. If Malphite builds some ability power, this probably isn't a worry whatsoever. But if he goes like a really high armor build without much ability power, that's the only thing I think could be even a small stumblance for this Northwest Bank team comp. This is a similar comp to what they run against us in game 1 that we played them last time, and it was really, really strong. The Chalk Bites, their team comp, it looks like they have a Master Yi, Sona, Kale, Rakan, Karma. It looks like they're trying to go for something that Northwest Bank wouldn't expect, and hopefully they can get an edge through that. Looks like they have 3 or 4 supportive champions, you would say. And it looks like, if I had to say, sort of a protect the Master Yi comp, which, we'll see how it plays out. There's a decent amount of AoE CC with the Sona ultimate and Rakan using his W into ultimate, so if they're able to really unlock the Master Yi, it can be devastating, but it's going to be hard to see a scenario in which if Northwest Bank gets the engage off, that they don't win the fight. Sure, okay. I'm waiting. Yeah, a new base actually took 4 bans here. The Shaco, Nocturne, Xin Zhao, and Lee Sin, and still is on a champion that he's very proficient in. It's just tough to ban out such a gifted player.
I mean, they might as well ban every single champion he owns. I mean, at least try. They banned Lissandra, they could have just banned Kindred, right? And give him Evelyn maybe, or they're giving him a lot of. It's good that they're banning a lot of champions against him, but it just it doesn't help that he has such a deep champion pool, like you said earlier. And then going into this game, the mid laner does play a lot of Yasuo when he is playing the mid lane. So giving him Yasuo and then having the combination of a Malphite Yasuo and even a Nautilus with a little bit of knockup that he has, well, with a lot of knockup actually, with his ultimate, there's going to be a lot of wombo combos that you're going to see that Northwest Bank is going to be able to pull off. And then you just said that they have a lot of AD, but at the same time, they have a lot of CC preventing Master Yi from being able to pop off or even get a little bit of kills on top of them. And they have a lot of armor as well. While the side of Chalk Bites, they don't have much armor at all. They have a lot of shielding, which can help them be able to protect them from the AD carries if it gets late enough. But it seems like they're counter-reacting themselves.
Yeah, when we look at that, who really can build a lot of AD on that team comp? I mean, you don't have a real tank. You don't have that Orin who can potentially build 5, 6 armor items. Nobody on that team really can. You're probably going to have a Guardian Angel and Yi, You might have Azonias on a couple of the members, and Rakan probably could get somewhat tanky and really get into that armor, but I don't know. It looks, just from a comp perspective, it looks like Chalk Bites is going to be fighting an uphill battle this game.
I agree completely. Do you want to take a moment while they're still doing loading pick and bans to talk about the? We could talk about the seasons that we're going to be going through of the Lighthouse League. We can talk about a little bit of what we're going to see in the next few months coming around with Overwatch, Tekken, Overwatch, the fighting game community, and the Fortnite. Next, well, especially with next week coming up, we have Fortnite.
Yeah, and I heard, I don't know if it's a rumor or if it's confirmed, but there's going to be pro Fortnite players actually in the building playing Fortnite in the tournament this weekend. If you're from the Quad Cities, you know, within driving distance, if you don't have anything going on, definitely be a really cool event for you to come in and check out. Because not only do the Quad Cities have really good esports video game talent, but we're also able to bring in regional, national folks to come in here and demonstrate how good they are. If you want to prove that you're one of the best gamers in the Quad Cities or in the bi-state area, you have to play against the best in order to do that. And that's one of the great things about Paradigm, is you're given that opportunity. You're going to have players to show your stuff against this weekend, and you know, maybe Fortnite's not your thing. There's going to be Overwatch tournaments coming up. I mean, this past weekend, I think there was a tournament, and if I remember correctly, the finals were really, really close between Illini Esports and St. Ambrose Esports.
Yes, they were, and there were a lot of collegiate. Most of them were collegiate esports groups, and then you also had PD Esports, which is a really new esports club that just came out of the blue, helped because of Paradigm. I mean, it was started. There was a guy named Gavin who's pretty much helped start their club. And now they have an Overwatch team, a League of Legends team, and a little bit of. They had a third one. I'm just spacing out. Counter-Strike. They have a Counter-Strike team now too. And so with the Lighthouse League though, we have the Overwatch League that they tournament that they had last weekend was really popular. 9 teams showed up, which is quite a bit of players, and mostly a lot of out of state too, which really helps. Really shows that people will come out of their way to come to one of our events.
I'll say, watching the games on Twitch, whatever, it's great, but there's nothing that compares with being in the stands, seeing the action live, seeing the reactions in the players' faces as to what's going on. It's really unbelievable. And if you get the chance, just come down here. We're downtown Davenport. It's really fun, vibrant community, and we all love esports. It's something we all share in common, so you can connect with people and really enjoy what's going on down here.
Well said, Love Gun. As we're about to get into the game, I would like to thank our sponsors for helping us out: St. Ambrose University, Intel, Respawn, and then Video Games, etc. They help us quite a bit with whatever with all of the streams, and giving Respawn with our nice gaming chairs that we get to sit on today, nice comfortable butts.
More comfortable than the chair I have at home, so I'll take it any day.
And would you like to talk a little bit about the old comps that we were facing with from Northwest Bank and Chalk Bites as well?
Yeah, I mean, I think the really big thing here is I thought that Chalk Bites had a really, really good pick ban phase in the first game. I thought their first 3 bans especially were really on point. Even the Jin and Garen bans were pretty spot on too. But clearly they thought that they got something wrong there. Probably their coach saw something that I didn't, and they went for this really atypical lineup that they're going this time. They might think they have a read on what Northwest Bank's doing, thinking that maybe they can't play Northwest Bank game against them. It's sort of like in international League of Legends. There was always this attempt by European and North American teams to sort of emulate the Korean style. But when they would do that, they fell short. But what happened this past year? China, North America, Europe, they brought their own breed of League of Legends and beat the Koreans with their style. And it looks like Chalk Bites is trying to create their style with this current pick ban, and hopefully that will give them a unique edge, something that they could bring into this game to try to really take it to Northwest Bank in a way that they couldn't in the first game. And if I had to really try to give analysis on this Chalk Bites comp, honestly, I don't know how well I could, because I've never seen anything like it. But I'm sure they've scrimmed with this. I'm sure they've played with this. They know what they're doing. and hopefully they can come out and execute. Unfortunately, it's against probably one of the best teams in the region they're playing against, so that level of execution is going to have to be really high to pull it off. But we'll see if they have it in them. I mean, it's a really gutsy call, and I admire them for that. And if they pull it off, it could be something really, really cool to watch.
Well said. Well said. And then, like you said earlier, I mean, like you said, they have brained their own style of gameplay. They're not going by any really meta pick that's driving them into this the champions that they have chosen between their players. So when we get into game, we will see, especially with where the champions are going to go. I mean, I'm wondering where Sona and Karma are going to go mostly, because I'm going to imagine that Sona would go mid, Karma top. That's what I would imagine, while Rakan's going to be in the bot lane supporting the Kayle, and then Master Yi. But they could throw us off for a loop.
Looking at summoner spell choices, it looks like the Kayle has teleport. She'll probably be going top lane. Also, it'll be really interesting just to see, because if it is Sona mid was a really huge pick in Korea for a long time, because it's really, really oppressive in the laning phase, and then it also sets up really well for team fights with the ultimate, and just how it can support the other members in this team comp. Definitely be looking to support that Master Yi. But we'll see once we actually get onto the Rift where everybody heads. This will be really interesting. This is one of the few pick bans I think you'll see in this league where you're not 100% sure where everybody's going right off the bat. Oh, it looks like at least 4 members are heading towards the bot side for Northwest Bank. Chalkbites were a little slow out the gate, but Kayle is heading top. So yeah, that'll be an interesting matchup, the Kayle versus the Malphite. I think that matchup probably pretty heavily favors the Kayle, at least in the laning phase. Oh, but Northwest Bank with that Nautilus again, looking for the level 1. It looks like the Chalkbites saw it out, but Rakan early flashes. But Northwest Bank's gonna, even if they don't get a kill or anything out of this, they still got the summoner, they still got the vision. They're gonna have a pretty good read on what Chalkbites' jungler is gonna be doing in the first path. So that's a lot of information that a talented jungler a la Anubis is gonna be able to work with here. Looks like the Rakan is bottom lane, and I think Master Yi is definitely in the jungle, but I'm trying to see who's going bot with Rakan. I think it's Karma, because Karma has the heal, but yeah, it is Karma. It's bottom.
Yeah, so it's going to be a Karma Rakan bot lane, and a lot of AP, but I don't even think they're going to focus much on the bot lane. They're going to be focusing much on getting themselves fed, let alone helping Master Yi be able to farm up, get a lot of the kills that is going to be required to snowball this game into a very high lead. I think that with this team comp that Chalkbites have, they're gonna try to get Master Yi as farmed up as possible early. Maybe give him a little bit of the farm from in their lane, even with funneling not being reverted a little bit. Nautilus landing an early hook though onto the Karma, getting quite a bit, chunking her out a little bit. She's just gonna heal it up, but I mean, it's gonna help them be. It's gonna help the bot lane for Northwest Bank scale, get a lot more pressure.
Yeah. Definitely, they're going to be, the Northwest Bank bot lane is going to have control of this lane. Ooh, Sona mid. It is that sort of Korean-style mid lane champion, so that'll be pretty interesting. Really popular there, at least it was. But it's going to be interesting to see what the Karma decides to go in terms for build. We'll hear the Yasuo is getting some good trade damage. Whatever the Karma decides to get, Yasuo is just being super aggressive. Took the turret shot. Actually, first blood there for Chalkbites.
Yeah.
Pretty big misstep there, I think.
Yeah, Yasuo taking two 2-hour shots, not realizing that Sona had an exhaust, so he wasn't going to take it the second one, but he ended up taking it, and giving up first blood is going to put a lot of gold in the hands of Sona. Be able to pick up an item to help out. It looks like Sona will be getting ganked by Kindred. She does end up getting killed, getting the return kill. Sadly, no assist for the Yasuo, but that is going to be a kill onto Anubis with Kindred, and that's going to help him scale up quite a bit.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if he got a stack off that or not. If he did, that's only going to propel him towards that 4-stack spike where he gets the increased range on his auto attacks, which would be pretty big. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what build this Karma goes. If it's a really supportive build that looks at like maybe Ardent Sensor as a first item with Mikhail's to increase the shielding even more, or if it's more of what you see if you see people play at mid, which is like the Ludens build into Cirque Shoes and Oblivion Orb. It'll be really interesting to see sort of what the idea is here. Is this Karma supposed to be like an off-carry role, like an off-carry type player in this game, or if it's going to be just much more supportive? Golden Boy getting really good trading down on Gaming Gavin, actually, which I think is a little bit surprising given the matchup.
Yeah, Gaming Gavin's just putting in, going in on attack, going in for auto attacks rather than using his E to zone, get away and just farm from a distance, so he doesn't have to deal with the ground smash from Malphite, and he's getting hit by quite a bit of Qs. And taking way too many trades. Nautilus landing a really good hook onto Karma. The WQ and the she's having the flash and heal, but the ignite will be able to take her out. And Shadow Shima picking up a kill.
Really, Ezreal play there was really strong. I once had an 80 carry friend tell me, when you're playing Ezreal, you never ever arcane shift forward. That was one of the few times I think it was warranted, and because he did, he was able to get that extra DPS to allow that ignite to actually finalize the kill there. Really good play by the Northwest Bank 80 carry there. Actually, I mean, really, I can't say enough how much this Northwest Bank top laner, how well he's playing here. He dominated the first game. He's playing what I think is a pretty rough matchup, a melee into a ranged champion, a champion that focuses on armor, playing against an ability power champion in Kayle, but he's playing the matchup really, really well. Has a CS lead and really strong.
In DRN, DM5 is taking a lot of trades with the tower. I think he's going in really ham. I mean, he realizes that they realize that this is his most popular champ. He's getting a little greedy for the kills. He's getting very confident, I would say, going in for a lot of CS. He has a really big CS lead. He feels comfortable on this champion. He knows what he's doing, so he's going to make a lot more trades than he would when he was playing Lissandra. With just the fact that was more of an overpowered pick or a more busted role. He knows that he can play this role. And there's a fight going on in the bot lane. Nautilus and Rakan trading a little bit. Karma taking a little bit of Ezreal damage. Not too much to worry about, though, at the moment. Kindred, Anubis is invading the jungle, though. It looks like he did take the blue buff away from the Master Yi as well.
Yeah, just a really strong play by Northwest Bank here so far. Again, taking out Master Yi in his own jungle. This is going to give a new base, at least the Gromp, maybe more ability to invade after this, or to just go back and start clearing his own or back for himself.
And then he did end up picking up another kill onto the Master Yi, getting possibly another stack, we're not sure. And they're going to go straight to Northwest Bank's going to go straight to Dragon. A really good play since Master Yi did just die. They have a lot of bottom lane control, with the bot lane being pushed out the tower, so Chalkbites really have nothing they can really do against this. And that'll be the first dragon picked up, which is an Infernal Drake, which is going to be really nice for the team comp of Northwest Bank.
You know, if we're talking about in terms of priority, really big all-in by Yasuo. Once he hit the tornado, it was all sealed. He was going to be able to get that kill, but really good play there by DRN for Northwest Bank there. But like I was saying, when it comes to dragon priority early, probably the one you want the most is Ocean, because it gives you the most ability to be oppressive in the laning phase. But if it's not that you're looking for, I would say definitely you want Infernal. Ooh, this could be a flash Q or just a Q in general. Yep, was able to snipe him off with the Q, but it looks like Master is going to be able to get the counter kill off it. Just standing there, isn't even running away. He knows. He just took it.
Yep, Gold
Sometimes
Boy just
you got
take it
to.
to the face.
Sometimes you just gotta, flash that level 6 or level 7 mastery mode and just take it. Be like, you know what? Worth
it. Yep. And it looks like the bottom lane for Northwest Bank is shoving in like they were last game, getting up a little bit of the gold plate turret. I mean, with the gold turret plating, the turret plating that is in this in League, they get, for the dual lanes, they get 80 gold apiece each plating that they destroy, and that's just a health pot. They get a little bit more. They get so much gold for this. I mean, if you solo it, you get 160 gold. That's a lot of gold in your pocket. And for mid laners especially, if the enemy mid laner is trying to roam, you can shove in the lane if you're a heavy shover and get more gold if the gank fails than the other laner. Nautilus missing that hook. That would have been Nautilus missing the hook, not being able to land it on Karma or Rakan. Israel playing aggressive, Arcaning shifting forward constantly.
He's really confident with it. It's what I'm noticing from Northwest Bank here is what we call high variability plays, which isn't your standard safe. 95% of the time this will work. They're taking those 75, those 65, 55% probabilities and just saying, hey, we're really confident in our ability to play this game, and we're gonna outplay you and get this. And here you go, turret diving this early in the game, even though that seemed pretty simple once you hit the tornado. Yeah, they're really confident and they're playing really well.
Looks
Rakan
like
going in.
landing the ult on both Nautilus and Ezreal, but it looks like Nautilus landing the ult on Ezreal. Ezreal having the flash ulting, and there's not going to be a single kill going on to Chalkbites, but Rakan's not going to be able to get back. He has to flash away. Good from Northwest Bank to prioritize getting the flashes away from the other team.
Yeah, that was a pretty good attempt by Chalkbites. It was good to see them being proactive there, trying to go for play. You know, it didn't work out, but one of the big things about this regular season play in this league is that what really matters is the gauntlet and getting this experience, giving this a shot. They're going to be able to go back into the replay and the VODs and see, you know, why did this work? Why didn't it work? They're going to be able to build from this, and just even seeing this proactive play, I think, is a really good sign for this Chalkbites team moving forward.
Yeah, they're going to be able to look at this and say, hey, we were able to make this proactive play. Now that we've seen what Northwest Bank has been able to do, we can just tweak it a little bit, and then we'll be able to go in harder. If they try to do something again with Nautilus, we'll be able to remember, oh yeah, he has the ultimate, so we won't be able to go in this time. But really good, really proactive, like you said before, from the side of Chalkbites. It looks like Karma is starting to build an Amplifying Tome. We still don't know if that's going to be into a Luden's Echo or a Ardent Sensor. Yeah, Ardent Sensor. But she is going to be more. She'll be able to shield a lot more. Yasuo going in for the tornado. Sona landing a really nice ult, not trying to, but DRN has a. DM5 has a lot of damage, so he was able to clean it up really cleanly.
Yeah, this Yasuo is already huge. It's going to be really hard for Sona to even exist in lane, even under a turret. She's really, really vulnerable right now.
And Northwest Bank picking up a first turret in 10 minutes already. Yasuo, and it's in the mid lane, so they're going to be able to get a lot of vision control between both sides of the jungle.
Mid priority is unbelievable because it allows you to make plays on the top and bot without the enemy team really being able to do anything about it or have any sort of vision or knowledge of what's going on. It allows so much more safety and proactivity for the side lanes that can really unlock the game very, very fast.
And I will say that Chalkbites are doing a lot better this game. They have 2 kills already. They're being a lot more proactive, like you said earlier, able to make plays. Unfortunately, with how the team comp is working out for Northwest Bank, they're able to tank a lot of hits from the tower. A lot more tower dives are coming out of this. Out of like Malphite using his ultimate, Kindred being able to keep everyone else alive with her ultimate, and then like just the tanks initiating while everyone else can just build up their damage onto the sides of Chalkbites.
Yeah, and one of the things both Malphite and Nautilus are able to engage from places in the map that are dark, either flashing over walls and just putting down a bunch of CC, or Malphite literally just being able to ult over a wall. It's going to be really hard. Chalkbite's going to have to really focus on making sure they have vision control around their turrets so that they're not 4-man Malphite ulted under their own turret. Vision control is of the utmost right now for Chalkbites.
Yep, and it looks like DM5 is just gonna go on a rampage. He's just taking names, and the tier 2 tower is already getting close. Master Yi trying to go in with his ultimate. He did dodge the tornado with his Q, but he didn't realize that he had the ultimate. He had kills ult, and DM5 getting a double kill.
That's unbelievable being able to turn that. First it was a 1v1, then it was a 3v1, and he got all 3 of them. He is absolutely on fire, taking over this game. As it looks right now, totally an MVP-esque performance.
And that was a really good play from Nautilus, landing the hook onto Karma and then being able to ult while Ezreal pops his ultimate. And Rift Heel's being summoned here, going to be able to take the tier inhibitor tower and possibly the inhibitor, and there's nothing Chalkbites can do.
It might even get a charge on Nexus turrets. Actually, it will almost assuredly get a charge on the Nexus turrets here. That's tough. This early in the game, those inhibitors are going to be really hard to clear, especially with champions that don't have particularly amazing wave clear. It's going to be really, really hard to just staunch the bleed that is mid lane right now, like in terms of the minions and the super minions just overflowing into the base.
Yep, and right now all Chalk Bites need to do to get back up here is just get Master Yi on those side lanes, pick up a lot of farm, try to get more fed on his, try to get more CS, try to get those minions. Don't let anybody else get the minion wave, let him pick it up, but he's going to get hooked right now by Nautilus. We're kind of trying to save his life. It's going to be really... Oh.
That's, you know, at this point in the game, it's really hard to take those fights. Nautilus landing every single hook. Chalk Bites need to really be focusing on turtling, not trying to fight in their own jungle, wait until you get more items, wait until Yi's a little bit stronger in order to try to do something. The gold is unbelievably in favor of Northwest Bank, and any sort of 3v3, 2v2 skirmish is going to go in their side, even if they miss skill shots at this point.
Yes, exactly. And North Chalk Bites don't have any vision in the jungle, so it's going to be really hard for them to pick any fights if they're going to try to get any picks onto the Ezreal or the Yasuo, even the Kindred. I mean, they have Northwest Bank have 2 AD carries and then a huge AD presence in the mid lane. And it was supposed to be, if Chalk Bites can come back, they'll be able to negate a lot of the AD effects, get maybe some armor items onto Master Yi, like a Dead Man's Plate. But other than that, they're going to have to try to get a pick onto this Yasuo possibly. They have 3 members sending up towards him. Looks like they're just going to try to farm away, give Master Yi a little bit of farm. Yasuo is going to stay in the bush, wait for anybody to overextend. He might try to 1v3 this. Yeah. I mean, he has a lot of damage in this kit already with the Static Shiv and the BF sword.
If I'm Yasuo, I don't think I'm that scared of those 3 people right there. And Malphite ult, so hard to deal with. Just unbelievable performance we're seeing from Northwest Bank here. Just unbelievably dominant. All 3 lanes are approaching Flame Horizon level. This is just a world-class clinic being put on by Northwest Bank right now. And I don't even know how many stacks Kindred have. Kindred might even be huge when it comes to stacking and working towards a late game as well. It's crazy. We're talking about Northwest Bank and we're not overly talking about a new base. Today, his solo lanes, his laners have just played really, really well.
Yeah, it's been all about the solo lanes. I mean, first game it was Lissandra and Aatrox, the mid and top lane, and then this game it's all about the Malphite. Mostly the Yasuo. DM5 has been playing out of his mind.
Yeah, after that early misstep, he really got composure and started being unbelievably oppressive in the lane.
And Anubis is going to be dominating, taking out the first kill onto Master Yi. Rakan trying to use his ultimate to charm everybody around him, but it's not going to stop. It's not going to stop Northwest Bank from cleaning up the kills and cleaning up the Nexus turrets and to get the win.
Really clean game overall played by Northwest Bank. They were able to have their ults, though they're not necessarily the easiest to land AoE. Both the Ezreal ult hit multiple members and the Nautilus ult hit multiple members. It's really tough when they're having this level of execution.
And Northwest Bank will be taking the last hits of the Nexus turret, and this will be 2-0 going on to the side of Northwest Bank.
And they'll be 8-0 overall in the league.
Yeah, and they're looking pretty on. They're gonna get a couple of kills. They're gonna try to get a couple of kills before ending the game. Kale getting Yasuo does end up dying, getting a little greedy for it, but the game will be ending right now.
Northwest Bank look like they're really firing on all cylinders. I know they're the team to beat in this league right now. You know, we're playing next. We're going to hope to put on just as dominant a performance, and when we meet them in 2 weeks, we really hope that we can take it to them.
Yeah, Northwest Bank is the team to beat in the gauntlet. They're going to be looking to they're looking 8-0 right now during the season. This is only week 4, so there's a lot more to go. Hopefully, somebody will be able to take what they have learned from facing Northwest Bank in these next couple of weeks and be able to beat them, at least a game, and then learn from that game itself and then take it into the gauntlet and be able to win.
Yeah, Gauntlet's where everyone puts all the money on the table, right? It's where you come and you try to bring everything you have. Everything's building towards that. All teams really need to have Northwest Bank in their sights for that tournament and saying that, you know what, we're coming here and we're going to try to beat them. We're trying to take games off them. We're trying to show them that, you know what, you're not going to win every single game in this league. We're going to take it to you and we're going to try to beat you. But if they keep up the way they're going, it's going to be difficult for anyone to take a game off them. But I believe that every team in this league, as long as they keep building toward it, have the potential near the end to, really compete well.
Yep. And with that, there was 2 very well played games from both teams today. from both sides this matchup between Northwest and Chalk Bites, and about 10 more, and we'll have a 10-minute intermission, and then we'll go into Victory Store versus Quad City Bank.
And you get to watch me play then.
Yeah,
So.
we'll get to see Love Gun play. Make sure to follow him on Twitter, Dan Dankerts. He's been really good helping me cast. We're a little short on staff, so thank you very much for playing the role.
If you're interested in League of Legends or K-pop, my Twitter's for you. So check it out. It's in the it's in the banner here, so you can check it out.
Because I think that.
And with that, we'll be going into remission. Thank you very much, and we'll see you soon. Hello, hello, hello. I am back with another co-host. My name is Ostopoulos, and I have Gabe Cheek Boss Smith here with me. He just had played with Chalk Bites against Northwest Bank here a little bit ago, and you guys got a little wrecked.
Yes, we did.
Talk to me about that last game. About both of the games that you guys played. What did you pick up from both of them after each and every game?
So first game we went in with a different mentality than we went in with the second game. First game we went in with a more serious mentality of, man, we're gonna try putting up the best fight possible, and seeing how long we can make this game go on. We weren't necessarily going in with the mentality that we were going to beat Augustana with our team. We just wanted to do well against them. So we wanted to make sure that we played safer in our bot lanes, or maybe some of where our weaker points were, so that other people could maybe farm, scale harder, and maybe carry a little bit more. But we ended up falling on the back foot due to the enemy jungler Anubis just destroying us in the early game with our jungler. He was level 3 for like 5 minutes. And then I guess the second game, we went in with a different creative strat with the basket, and we wanted to maybe catch them off guard with the strategy. The 4 supports 1 Yi. It was supposed to be just Yi all the damage, and then the supports just support him as we go in. So I mean, we did lose both games obviously, but I guess that we could definitely take away some things from it. We need to work on our vision like really bad. We had no idea any vision in our own jungle, even like where the Nocturne was when he was always invading. We had no idea he was in our jungle, and then we had no idea where he was going to gank next. We had no vision on their jungler at almost any times. So that was like one of the main things that we really needed to focus on.
I agree. You guys did do a lot better on the second game though than the first game with your less serious note, and with the mentality you guys had, it seemed like you were having more fun with this. And you guys were able to pick up a couple kills in the beginning of the game, try to snowball the Yi a little bit. I would say when going into a game like that, maybe just try to funnel a lot of the gold onto the Yi. Maybe picking up a lot of the CS in lane, since you had like a Karma Rakan, maybe give him a little bit of the gold that he would get from there. But otherwise, from that, you guys were able to keep Northwest Bank a little bit at hold, even though the games were a little shorter. They're obviously not the shortest I've ever seen. You guys were able to turtle a little bit. Otherwise, you guys were able to turtle a little bit, give a little bit of CS to Master Yi, and pick up a little bit more on that side of things. He was able to get a couple of kills and help out the team in little ways, but he ended up Northwest Bank was able to overwhelm you guys, snowball into an early victory.
Yeah, one thing we've learned from facing them is it's really hard to keep them from starting that snowball. Facing them the very first time, actually, when our team was in our early phase, where we were, I feel like even though we lost today, we've developed as a team a lot more. We've been working on our team comps and whatnot, and working better like that. But it's even then a team of their skill is really hard to keep on the back leg, or keep even neutral.
Yeah.
So it's a struggle, but I mean overall we had fun. We had fun with that. I guess we did a little bit better because we were more relaxed in that second game. When Sona got first blood against the Yasuo main, we were kind of we thought that was funny. So yeah, that's really it. That's all I gotta say about that game, really.
Yeah, and now we're going to be getting into the first game of the series between Quad City Bank and Victory Store, and both teams have quite a bigger roster. Was it QC Bank? I think neither of these teams, Quad City Bank. So Victory Store has 4 wins currently, and then QC Bank doesn't have any at the moment. Maybe we'll see something new from QC Bank. Maybe they've been practicing a lot. They've probably been practicing, getting a little bit of scrims going on, and they'll be able to get more and more adept with, and they'll be able to adapt more when they keep playing these teams, especially learning a lot from Northwest Bank. Each team is going to take a little bit more from Northwest and apply it to their own playstyle.
Alright, so we are seeing the Yasuo ban, and that is, I understand that that ban, everyone seems to like be playing Yasuo in this current meta with the item swaps. The changes in the items have made Yasuo quite strong in the meta. So there's some bans I do understand here. Lissandra, that makes sense. QC Bank has pulled out the Lissandra a couple times and has done. The mid laner for QC Bank has brought the Lissandra out and done pretty well every time that he seems to bring her out. A little bit of a strange ban I would see would be the Rammus. I've only faced Victory Store once, and we did not ban Rammus, and there was no Rammus pick. So maybe
they're just throwing some shade. Maybe they like to see the big armadillo gone. They don't want to see it. And then there is a Syndra ban, and I know that Reen enjoys playing a lot of Syndra. Is his main, I'm pretty sure. So it's going to be good to see that off the table for Reen. A lot of mid lane bans: Yasuo, Syndra, and Lissandra.
Yes, I've actually played with Reen. Reen being one of the stronger, more like person who knows his play style, knows his place on the team more. Maybe than some of the other people, and he does play Lissandra and Syndra the most, as you can see from the two bans. They must have checked that or something, because though Lissandra is his #1 main, that's his go-to champ, and the Syndra being his immediate backup pick if Lissandra does that.
Yes, of course. And now what we're seeing from QC Bank is they have a lot of protect the AD carry comp, with Caitlyn being in the back line, with a very long range AD carry that can just poke fun at the champions that Victory Store may pick. And then they have a Poppy, Xin Zhao, and Alistar, which all are engage tools and peel tools that will help Caitlyn scale and help protect her from anybody that's going to try to engage, like the Renekton. And so we're from the side of Victory Store, we kind of see the same thing. A little bit more damage side with Renekton and Veigar. Veigar being able to trap everybody inside of his prism, his circle, making sure that they can't get out while he gets more stacks from proccing more abilities onto them.
We see the Zoe pick coming out from the mid laner, and that is actually understandable. He did pick that against our team during a couple of scrims against Chalk Bites, and that's one of his other comfort champs. He has a pretty wide roster. Their mid laner has a lot of characters he can play, which is pretty good for being a player in general. Having a wide roster.
Yeah, having a very deep champion pool is really good for for each player to have, because if you say you're a one-trick pony, you're going to be, if they ban your champion, well then you're stuck playing something you're not really familiar with. And so having Reen being able to play Syndra, being able to play Zoe, being able to play all these other champions, it's going to be really nice that he can pick up the champions that he needs to play. And as we get into the game, I would like to thank our sponsors once again: St. Ambrose University, Intel, Respawn Gaming Chairs, the things that we're sitting on today. They're really nice, they're really comfortable. I got a little pillow on my neck. Yeah, super nice. And then also Video Games, etc. They're all really nice sponsors. They help us out quite a bit with everything, with all the tournaments that we do. And so, would you like to talk about a little bit of the more about the comps and the details and what they can achieve with these compositions that they build with Victory Store and QC Bank?
Yeah, sure. It appears for Victory Store. They don't necessarily seem to have as much of, I guess you could say, a protective comp as QC Bank with the Alistar, the Xin Zhao with the ult, the Poppy with the disengage ult. There's a lot of safer options for disengage on QC Bank's part. Victory Store seems to have a lot more aggressive damage-like team, as you mentioned before with the Veigar. The Renekton likes to go deep. Ezreal has a lot of poke, and Sejuani has great engage. So there's a lot of different options here. It seems Thresh being one of their main disengage save options, along with maybe the Veigar stun, the Dome. While QC Bank does have a lot of protective disengage strategy, which I can see they could be going for. They've been really dissecting their games and figuring out what they need to do with each champ and what their favorable comp is for them to be able to win games, snowball.
Mm-hmm. Very understandable. And with the pick and ban phase being over with, we'll be getting into a game. I would say in about another 5 minutes, we'll be getting into game. The team comp for QC Bank is really interesting because they picked the composition's really good. I can see just out of compositions, I would say QC Bank is going to win this. You're not too sure though. We'll have to see the play styles of each champion, whether or not there'll be a lot of ganks coming down towards the bot lanes. I think that's what we're going to see quite a bit. A lot more 4-man bottom lanes for the side of QC Bank. Bringing down each champion, and if Poppy takes teleport, we might see all 5 come down, try to get a first turret, get a couple of objectives such as Dragon, and then snowball that lead into a victory.
Alright, so they're finalizing their picks, and we're in the beginning of the game.
About 3 more minutes. We will be going through a lag because they have to. There will be a short lag before we get into the game. Making sure that there's no screen cheating.
Yeah, so
from the
you can't just look up at the screen and see, oh man, they're going for drag.
No, this isn't Worlds Season 2 or anything. No TSM or Samsung. Not Samsung. It was a Korean team that was doing it. But
it's season 2.
Season 2 Worlds. Taipei Assassins winning. One of my favorite teams, honestly. They're bringing a lot of. It was like unexpected. Because you had Moscow 5, who were a big powerhouse back in the day, and now none of those teams are even heard of anymore.
You know what? Actually, while we're waiting for this game to start, I'm actually gonna bring up the pro scene here. What for this season? Who is the team you're rooting for?
Who's the team I'm rooting for?
Yeah.
I can't give away information. I'm not biased. This is no caster bias right here. I am equally wanting everybody to win in their own way.
Who are you excited to see?
Who am I excited to see? I'm excited. Okay, for once, I want to see Shaco being played from Anubis. Like, I want to see one Shaco game from him. I know it's gonna be banned every time because he's a Shaco main.
Yeah, I know that's why we banned him. But I was talking about it on the professional level.
Professional,
Yeah, like
pro.
Like what team there? Not these teams. I mean, obviously that's just bias, but like while we're waiting,
all right, we
can go through the
pro scene. North America at least. I want to see Team Liquid. They've been my favorite team since before they were good. Since the 4th place curse. Since the days of I Will Dominate. I've been rooting and cheering on Team Liquid. Hopefully they are able to do well. I imagine they're going to make MSI. They're 5-0 right now, but you never know. Cloud9's looking pretty hot as well, and TSM's starting to dig their way back into the top. What about you?
Actually, I'm rooting for Cloud9 this season. I got up, 2 o'clock in the morning to watch their games against G2, I believe it was last Worlds.
No, it was Afrika Freaks, where they beat them 3-0. Or during Worlds, they played off against Afrika Freaks and Fnatic during the playoffs.
I think it was Fnatic.
Yeah, because they got 3-0.
Yeah, because they got 3-0 by somebody, and it was very disappointing because I was it was technically the local, our local, North American team. That's what me and my friends say. So we are rooting for Cloud9. That's our team. That is our team.
They are my second pick. They are my second favorite team. I mean, I gotta vote. If I'm voting for the boys in blue, I mean they're both blue. Team Liquid and Cloud9. I will say Sneaky's a little bit overrated. I gotta go for Double Lift all the time. And with their addition of Core JJ and then as well as Jensen stealing it away from Cloud9, that's really gonna help them out going into the playoffs as soon as they get into it.
Yeah, it's
Do you vote for? Do you watch any other leagues play other than North America?
I mean, if I have another team that I would watch, I haven't really been too active on watching them for this beginning part. But if there was a team I would watch, which I was rooting for World, was Fnatic.
Yikes! Voting for a team, losing teams right now.
Yeah, I am voting for losing teams right now, but I personally like to stick with even if they do suck, or
it's
not
a building
suck,
year. It's a building year. They're going with the new mid laner Nemesis, and then they got rid of Caps, and that was the focal point of their team. So now they will grow within the year. They'll probably take a couple games back, and then we'll see them back in the prevalence. But enough of the games outside of this one. We're gonna get into the game. We're gonna go see daisies. We're gonna go see who's going to take game one. Victory Store versus QC Bank. We'll see if there's any cheeky little invades going on.
I would not be surprised to see an invade with the Thresh.
No, I would not be
support.
either. If they go in for an invade, that'd be really nice to see. Just loading across the map. It looks like there is going to be an
Yeah,
invade.
they are going for the invade.
Looks like there might be an invade from the bot side.
It does look like Zinchao is starting top though. However,
It will be a 5 points. It will be a 5-point start for them. It looks like. Just guarding each and every side, but they don't have. Manky Boy does get caught out by the Thresh. It looks like he's not going to be able to do anything. And First Blood's going to go on to Renekton. Wasn't able to flash away or anything. Very interesting, but it looks like QC Bank's still going to stay at the 5 point. They're not going to overextend at all. Caitlyn Marshboy is going to stay back, make sure he doesn't get picked. And it looks like he's taking the role of AD carry now instead of support.
I talked to him a bit about it. He said that with the way the team works and with different experience levels, that it would be beneficial if they were to switch positions based on things that they judge. I'm not going to be toxic here.
No, based on things that they judged from, no bias. It's just like they wanted to do a little switch off, make sure that they might be more prepared for this in a mental way. Getting good team synergy is what it's all about in these beginning weeks, and then when they get into the gauntlet where it mostly matters, when it's the big times, then they can show off what they have learned from playing against Victory Store.
Alrighty. So I think it is worth to note that Alistar still does have Flash.
Yes. Alistar does have Flash.
I'll probably just be looking back for the camera.
Little technical difficulties. We're back into the game. Looks like little trades going back and forth between top lane. Zinjao was trying to get a quick gank. King Offer tried to gank top lane a little bit, but nothing really came out of it. Thano, there's not much going to go on. Zinjao is going for the scuttle in the beginning of the game up top side. No scuttle being taken by Sejuani yet. She's still clearing out her camps, doing a little bit of a slow jungle camp. Clear with Alistar being able to shove in is going to be really nice early game. She can be able to get a little big CS lead. Unless Ezreal is going to be able to land a lot of Qs onto her. Looks like a little bit of pressure gank is going to come in from the Zinjao. Nothing really coming out of it though. No flashes being used.
Just a little bit of poke damage on the Zinchao from the Vire W.
Yep, and it looks like there's a gank coming in from Sejuani. Not going to do much though. Poppy popping her W so that no one can charge in. Thresh not landing his hook.
So it doesn't seem like there's anything too aggressive, just some normal early game ganks. After the first invade, after the first blood, it looks like they're just trying to play the game like they normally would without the early gank from the Zinchao in the top lane. I have noticed that a lot, that top lane is a big focus for their jungler. They like to gank top a lot. I learned this by playing against them in previous games when I was playing top before, and they like to apply a lot of pressure top.
Looks like Victory Store is getting a lot of ganks up in the top lane. Poppy's already been ignited. She's chunked pretty low. Sejuani landing the headbutt on her, and it's going to be another kill going for the side of Victory Store. So we already have 2 kills going into the top quadrant of the map for Victory Store. Both Sejuani and Renekton having both a kill and an assist. Renekton is up 10 CS lead on to Poppy, and Vigar is also trying to zone away Zoe so he can get more farm going. But it's not really Zoe isn't really someone who can be zoned off. She can use a lot of her paddle stars and her sleepy troubles if someone were to try to go up on her, so that she can get a lot more damage onto them. And bot lane still being shoved. Caitlyn and Alistar have been across the river, allowing Sejuani to possibly get a gank on to the bot lane if Thano really would like to, he could get a gank there. But he's instead going to go mid lane, and Zoe's going to have to flash away. The ice is going to be able to land on him, but I don't think they're going to be able to get a kill. The paddle star is not going to land either, as Thano gets a really predicts that going to happen, and he flashes away.
He did get a little bit too close for comfort there, looking like he took a tower shot when he stunned the Zoe, forcing him to bust flash there.
So it was a really good trade from the side of QC Bank, getting the flash away from Sejuani. But the flash is away from Zoe as well, so they might be able to pull off another gank if they see fit. Uh-oh, is Thano okay? Are the wolves going to be able to kill him? Ooh, and he smites it to get the health back.
Looks like some jungle pressure coming up top. Not able to get much off of it though. He's just able to simply back off.
Yeah, and Poppy and Whom Dat Boy has a really good wave pressure, really a good wave presence right now. He's being able to freeze the lane a little bit. Not anymore. The wave has been pushed, but he was able to keep the wave more towards himself so that Zinja would be able to get more ganks for the side of QC Bank.
Renekton looks to be moving down to mid lane, seeing if he can help. Looks like he was just placing a deep ward.
He's trying to get some vision in to help out Victory Store, being able to get more vision to help them know where the jungler is going to be pathing for QC Bank. King Alfred has been trying to apply a lot of pressure onto the top lane, so with the ward that's placed in the river, it's going to help. It's going to be able to help Hangman prevent any deaths coming coming his way. Still not much happening here. Caitlyn does have a huge CS lead over Ezreal right now. It's going to be 20. As a 20 CS differential between the two, and it's able to poke away both Thresh and Ezreal. Caitlyn is low mana right now, but I don't think there's going to be a dive coming in anytime soon. Sejuani is around the bot lane, so there might be a potential gank if Caitlyn over Alistar overstay their welcome. But it looks like he's just going to go for the scuttler. King Alfred is here as well. He might try to steal this away, but he's going to just initiate onto Sejuani. He's going to get a lot of damage onto her. The red buff is proccing a lot of on there. The flash going down. Alistar is going to go in, and the kills is going to go on to a kill is going to be going the way of QC Bank. And there's a lot going on here as I talk, and King Alfred had to flash. There was really good pressure coming in from QC Bank. They shoved in the wave really hard, and they were able to get a kill on the Sejuani that overstayed when Zinja was going to go in. And now they're taking QC Bank is now taking the first Ocean Drake of the game.
Yeah, not much Victory Store could do there with Sejuani having to respawn after that death with aggroing Dragon and trying to get the scuttle. They were able to capitalize, pick the Sejuani off, shove in the lane, and get the first Dragon of the game. It seems that mid lane is actually going to get a solo kill on the Viger.
And then Sejuani is cleaning up the mess that Zoe had made, and looks like 2 kills coming the way. It's a trade. 4-2 now. Victory Store over QC Bank right at the moment. It's only a 1k difference, so there's not much going on at the moment. It's not like how Northwest Bank was. They were capitalizing on early game pressure and being able to farm up quite a bit as well. Where Ezreal, the Ezreal pick for Northwest Bank was able to poke out a lot of the Caitlyn, whereas this game, Caitlyn is doing a lot of the poking onto Ezreal. So it's a different situation completely. It looks like Lovegun is trying to roam up, see if he can get a play coming into the mid lane. He's just waiting in the bush at the moment. Zoe doesn't have any idea. There's no vision in that brush. So if she were to overextend, Viger could use his Prism to get her. Love Gun's going to try to land a hook. He does land the hook. The Prism's coming down. There's not going to be a stun, though. A lot of ults missing. The box going to go in. There's going to ignite, and Kratos landing the ult onto Zoe, picking up another kill. And Reen misjudged that completely. He had his flash up too, so he was going to be able to do that. He just didn't time it correctly.
I believe there was 3 ults coming out to secure that kill on the Zoe. We had the Threshold, the Sejuani ult, and the Viger ult to actually secure the kill. That was Ignite for Thresh going down on the Zoe, just to make sure that the Viger ult didn't kill. I mean, if it didn't kill, then it would secure that kill. But that does mean, for the time being, Victory Store is 3 ults down. So, as it stands, Sejuani isn't going to be as inclined, it seems, to gank any other lanes without that ult, unless, of course, they shove.
Yeah, and right now it looks like Renekton's shoved in really hard in the top lane. Looks like there might be a Xin Zhao gank coming in here pretty soon, though. But there's no minion wave, so Renekton's just going to back off and make sure that the wave crashes in the middle so that they can't really do too much of a gank. Too much pressure. There is also a ward down in the river, so that if Xin Zhao shows himself, it'll be hard for Poppy to engage. Love Gun not landing the hook completely onto him. He's going to flash and try to flay. He misses it, but Sejuani's coming in, going to land a couple of autos onto the Caitlyn. He's going to try to get the stun on her. Flashes on top of her, lands it. Ezreal is coming in. He's going to hit the ult onto the Caitlyn, picking up a kill on the Marsh Buoy. Another kill is going to go. The hook landing. Alistar trying to pop his ult over, trying to get out of there. He does flash, and he's going to be able to get away. And that was a really good play coming in from Victory Store. Getting both flashes on top of Alistar and a Caitlyn. The heal was down, so it wasn't able to pop anything there. Reen is going to try to get ignites the lands of Alistar and the ignite onto Vigar. Sejuani is also there.
It seems that they did have vision in the bot lane. They just didn't see the Sejuani coming in when the Thresh engaged on them.
Ooh, and Sejuani and Zoe are both fighting, duking it out. Both of them want to fight. Sejuani, she goes in, lands a stun, she's going to be able to kill her, and if there's a Sleepy Trouble bubble, Reen will be able to get a kill as well.
Seems Renekton is roaming mid. Not much they're going to be able to gain out of this. Reen is going to just be able to sit on her tower. Xin Zhao is going to come in to assist with 3 players mid currently.
But while this is happening, Poppy just gets free tower plating if she is able to get any. She'd be able to get a free tower plating. In bot lane, still being shoved. Caitlyn's able to capitalize on this gold advantage. She's still 20 above. They just got a gold plating, 80 gold for the Alistar and the Caitlyn. But while this is happening, Thresh is able to roam around, get a lot of priority into the mid lane, try to help out Vigar, so that he's going to snowball. Vigar does have a kill and an assist. He does have a little bit of CS, and he's on his way to his first item.
Looks like Renekton is going to hard push this lane, trying to get that tower play and get to keep extending the gold lead that he has over the Poppy currently, with almost a 40 CS lead.
Ooh, Vigar not landing the trap isn't going to help, but Alistar is going in. He's just taking a lot of poke damage from Ezreal.
Ezreal taking a lot of poke damage himself, though.
Yeah, from Caitlyn auto attacks. It looks like there was something that was going on in the mid lane. Vigar is pretty chunked out, and he's going to have to back. He does have teleport, so he will be able to come back, not missing too much CS, but he's losing out on so much already. He does have his Luden's Echo, though. Turret plating has fallen. It is 14 minutes into the game, so no more extra gold coming in from the pockets of either team. I really like that Zoe back. She's on a skateboard. Oh, and meanwhile, bottom lane, the box lands. Sejuani lands right onto Caitlyn. Ooh, the hook misses, but and nothing is going to come out of that besides a kill onto Alistar. Xin Zhao did... King Alfred did try to come down to help out QC Bank a little bit, but it wasn't able to respond quick enough as Alistar did get killed.
pretty good net coming out from the Caitlyn. They're able to avoid the Thresh hook that was following up the Sejuani ult, able to keep him from dying and able to stay and clear the creep under tower. Viger does have his Luden's Echo, so he is basically full build.
Yeah, not a lot happening right now. They're pretty much going back to their lane state. No tower's been taken quite yet. There is a 3k gold lead for the side of Victory Store. They could go for a second Drake. QC could go for a second Drake if they tried to get more pressure onto the bot lane. Ooh, Thresh landing a really good hook, but it wasn't really capitalized since Zoe was able to use her ultimate to get away. Sleepy Trouble Bubble landing onto Sacrados, and there's going to be a kill picked up from Zoe. The range of her paddle star is unbelievable when she lands a long range one. It's just a lot of damage.
It does make sense that that ability would do that much, considering that it is Zoe's only form of direct damage besides her passive and her E. Her E does not do the most significant amount of damage. It is mainly for CC and being able to land the paddle star quite easily.
Her passive is pretty atrocious though. Like it's like a Sheen proc. So she has like a Lich Bane. If you build her a Lich Bane, the hook is gonna land onto Caitlyn though. Thresh is able to get it. Are they gonna be able to get the kill onto Marsh Boy? The ult missing from Ezreal, but Love Gun is gonna be able to auto attack Caitlyn to death. Missing the hook though onto Alistar, trying to predict where he's gonna go. And that was a really good play from inside of Victory Store, picking him up the kill. And they might try to go for the tower here. Looks like they're going to keep poking Alistar down. They're not going to go for the tower. They might smell Xin Zhao around. Love Gun is moving up, trying to get a little bit more vision onto the Xin Zhao. Zoe's doing a little bit of damage onto Vigar. He's pretty low. He's going to try to get the trap, the ignite. Not going to be able to kill. She's flashing away. Not going to be able to do anything. Vigar landing a Q, but nothing. Renekton getting the stun onto Zoe, and Hangman's now on a killing spree. Looks like their Victory Store is going to start up the drink now, too.
Zoe seemed to have overextended and went a little too far chasing that Vigar. Their team was able to come in and punish her for that overextend, and now they're able to take a Drake off of it.
Looks like there was a fight going over the top during the dragon fight, during the dragon pit. Alistar is trying to get away from Thresh, using that, but Thresh landing that. Hangman's gonna get on a rampage.
Any BMs with the Renekton back. Classic BM.
Yeah, and Renekton's sitting at a fat 4-0 right now with 148 CS. He's probably got enough. He's got a BF sword, Black Cleaver, and then he's and a lot of wave clear. But while this is all going on, there's no towers have been taken, and this is a completely different look in between these games, between the and then against the other games between Northwest Bank and Chalk Bites. I mean, we had Northwest Bank taking towers at 5 minutes in. It was getting insane. And now we're having really slow-paced games, seeing where these games will go, try to scale for the late game, and hopefully try to get Caitlyn to go on her power spike. 3 members of QC Bank are coming up to try to stop Renekton from keep pushing. He does take a tower. He did end up taking the first tower, but he might be on his way to being killed. Sejuani completely whiffing her ultimate. They're going to go on a killing. Thanos going to go on a killing spree onto Caitlyn. Flash from Hangman to get the kill onto Xin Zhao, and they're going to get a third kill, getting a double kill onto Poppy. That was a really nice play from the Sejuani and the Renekton. And then another kill is going to go on to Zoe. Corporal Havoc picking it up, going on a killing spree, and it looks like they're going to try to push mid. And as I was talking about the no towers being taken, there's 2 towers going away, a 3rd tower about to be taken away from top lane, and they're still gonna. Victory Store is looking to push harder, trying to get a third tower, the tier 2 tower mid lane. And there's the third tower going down. And now it went from a 3K difference to almost about a 9K difference. This game is snowballing really hard for the side of Victory Store.
It was definitely a lot of a slower start than we had seen from some of the previous games, especially today. It took a lot longer for each team to start for each team to really, group up, take an objective like a tower or something. Each one of them were kind of just doing their own lanes. There were some ganks happening here and there, but mostly it was pretty even throughout most of the early game. Now, as they're transitioning into the mid game, you can see that the team's starting to group up more. Especially on QC Bank, they're realizing that they need to group up more so they can possibly start to clear more objectives, take some towers, and start to slowly chip away at that gold lead.
It looks like a fight's going on between both QC Bank and Victory Store. Lovegun not going to be able to land the hook. The Prism landing onto Caitlyn though, and the ultimate's going to come out and destroy Marsh Buoy. Vigor is starting to get a little fed now, and I was wondering how many stacks he has. He does have about 100 stacks now, so that's 100 extra AP to go in. The fight's gonna keep going for Victory Store, and they're gonna get another kill. They already have 2 down, 3 dead for QC Bank. Hoondat Boy going down from Ezreal as well, and it looks like it's gonna be just a huge push going to the side of Victory Store. And with it being 20 minutes, they might look to try to go to Baron, maybe get a reset and then get some vision going. But it looks like they're going to keep pushing, try to get more vision inside of the jungle. Alistar is going to get hooked on, and it looks like another kill is going to go into Thresh.
Yeah, that Veigar wall is definitely one of the greatest setups for kills because it completely isolates whoever's in it, and then the team can capitalize on that. Especially with the Thresh, he's able to flay people directly into the wall and get the stun.
Oh my gosh, and then Veigar was able to use his ult again, killing Xin Zhao. And I would like to commend QC Bank because they really, Reen was playing really well. He was able to get a lot of Sleepy Trouble Bubbles onto Veigar, getting a lot of solo kills, trying to help his team out by preventing Veigar from roaming, so he could eventually farm up, get more kills, and then be able to roam himself. But they weren't able to capitalize and be able to roam to the bot lane to help out Marsh Buoy and Monkey Boy. So what ended up happening was Victory Store was able to get ganks themselves with Sejuani coming down, be able to get some kills onto both of the laners, and then they're getting the dragon. They're also getting Infernal right now.
Yeah, you can tell at this point in the game that the momentum has completely shifted towards Victory Store's side. Victory Store is able to clear objectives. They're moving around as a group. They're able to pick off kills. They're winning team fights. While QC Bank's just forced to be on the back foot. They have to clear waves. But they're getting engaged upon the Veigar. They're getting picked off. It's just not a good situation for QC Bank.
It looks like a stun's going to land onto Alistar. It looks like they're going to try. Victory Store is just going to try to push. I would say that they should probably just try to go to Baron for right now. And if they start it up and QC Bank try to go in on them, that they can just turn right onto QC Bank and try to pick up a couple kills. But they're not going to go for it right now. Instead, they're going to try to go for the tower. They're going to try to keep pushing for these objectives that QC Bank are able to defend. And really good on QC Bank to be able to defend as much as they are with how behind they are. There is a fight going on between Corporal Havoc's going to be able to pick up a kill onto Zoe. Alistar's going to get hooked. He's going to be able to pop his ultimate, so he won't be able to take much damage. And Alistar's still getting taking a lot of damage.
Veigar coming out on the Alistar, securing that kill on the low health Alistar.
Yep, and there's 3 kills going to the side of Victory Store, and they really might be able to push the end right now. The death timers aren't that high; it's only 30 seconds, so they might just go for the inhib and just go straight to Baron. maybe. Oh, but it looks like they're gonna try to push the end. They do have a lot of minions, so they won't be able to have to worry about tanking any of this, and they're pushing this really hard.
Mid is coming up in 1 second now. He's gonna have to.
Here comes Rain.
Form
Rain's
a
gonna have to
miracle
try.
right here.
He's gonna have to try to get a miracle. He's gonna have to get the Sleepy Trouble Bubble. He lands onto the Sejuani, but he's not able to go in, and that's gonna be a flash. Hangman is gonna go legendary, and it looks like the first game is gonna go to Victory Store. GG. And really good first game from coming from Victory Store, being able to capitalize on all the kills that they were able to get onto the bot lane. Really, Ezreal was able to get fed. He went 7-0. A lot of good plays, proactive plays coming from QC Victory Store that game. And Victory Store, they were able to defend quite a bit throughout the game. From behind, they just weren't able to get any kills onto Caitlyn, the carry that needs the most kills to snowball into the mid to late game. So as we go into, we will be going into the next game here pretty soon. We will be taking a quick break. Thanks again for our sponsors and for helping us out with the streams today. And we will be back in about 5 to 10 minutes. Hello, we're back. Ostopolis and Chica Boss 346. We had Nukem here, Nuclear. He was chilling out. So we're getting into picks and bans. Victory Store versus QC Bank, Game 2 of the series. Victory Store going in smashingly hard with the Zerath pick. And I think I've been seeing a little bit of Love Gun play Zerath support. So this would be a very interesting pick if it is the case. We also have Renekton, Alistar, Misfortune. Zerath could be going in the mid lane as well. But like Alistar Misfortune is a very oppressive lane. If Alistar goes in and it's level 6, it's the ground pound and just ult, kill. But we're also seeing a Garen pick. Interesting. I don't see very many Garens on the top lane.
Victory Store has actually pulled out during this Rec League a couple times as a safety pick, almost. When Renekton is either banner picked, he just goes as Garen. So I'm not very surprised to see the Garen pick. Garen is pretty strong right now. What's your opinion on Garen currently in the meta?
He doesn't have any forms of CC or tankiness. Well, he has some tankiness with his passive to heal back up, but in his W, but he doesn't have a lot of team fight potential. His split push isn't the best. It is a safe pick, but it's not a pick that fits the meta with how oppressive teams can get. But it looks like that they are going Vygar, they're going Zerath, they have Caitlyn. This is a very heavy damage team comp that Victory Store is picking up. While QC Bank is going for more CC potential, a lot more tankiness, a lot more bruiser. Renekton, a Mumu, Alistar. We've been seeing a Mumu quite a bit throughout the League. What do you think of him? Since you guys as Chalkbites played with him.
Yeah, as our default jungler, we want him to be playing a Mumu. A Mumu is one of our safety picks for when we want to have a good ult or team fight comp where we can really revolve around the Mumu ult. Like the Galio we did last week with the MF ult, we were able, well, not 2 weeks ago, since last week was canceled obviously, but we really like to have that team fight potential, that synergy that we can do. That just like, so people don't want to fight us as much, and that's one thing that people really kind of don't think about as much. They team fight, the Amumu can get in, the Amumu gets the ult off, and actually the Nunu and Willem pick.
And the Katarina pick too!
Wow.
What is this we're seeing here? Alright, so we have Nunu was seen in pro play. We saw him in the LEC, we saw him in LCS as well. So like, that's very... I like to see Nunu again, so he's a lot of fun. But then the Katarina, QC Bank is trying to go ham. Reen wants to get this game done early. They want to screw some people up. I mean, especially since 4 of his champs were banned in the banning phase. I mean, Zoe, Sandra, LeBlanc, and then Syndra. They do not want to give QC Bank any insurance within their game. They know that Reen might be the best player on the team.
They saw it from the other game with the Zoe. The Zoe was definitely pretty solid in the early and mid game when she was getting the solo kills on the Veigar, putting out a lot of damage for the team. It just didn't matter in the end game because the team, Victory Store as a team was able to just overpower them in the end due to the gold lead. Alright, so they're just going to go through their normal picks.
Yeah, they're going to go through the normal picks and bans. Do you know, the normal League of Legends thingies. We'd like to talk to one of our other Chalkbites players, good guy Gavin. He's sitting next to us. He's having a little bit of fun watching us commentate. I'd like to see if this guy can come down in the middle, have a little bit of fun with us. Well, hello. You're the top laner for good guys. Chica, oh my gosh, Chalkbites.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise.
Good guy, Genius.
And you guys are brothers, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, so how is the synergy between you two in general?
Honestly, I think it's really good.
Honestly, we have had some ridiculous plays. We think similarly in team fights, it seems. That's our synergy. We've had a couple of ridiculous things where we've been testing out team comps with Chalkbites. I've been Zach, you've been Ornn, and we've been able to just get 5 mans, pick the team up, move them over into the Ornal, and it's been we've had some ridiculous stuff. We still lost the fight, but
The initiation was amazing.
It was a great engage. So we do have some synergy. We like to synergize with our champs a lot. I main Yasuo. He has the Ornn. So we like to have the multiple knockups from Ornn.
I think what I've realized with playing with him is or at least playing with him and knowing myself is I like to play a lot of champions with utility. And I know Gabe plays a lot of like carry champions, and it works out when I just make sure that he can do that. That's kind of what I do, is try to make sure he can carry as much as he can, you know.
The older brother showing support for his younger brother. That's very nice. I wish I would do that with my younger brother.
I'm trying to get him to play Malphite. He doesn't want it.
I don't know, Malphite. I don't know. After seeing him tonight, I might go try to copy his build a little bit. Yeah, for real. But
Luden's Echo, AP, or you just build Luden's Echo and you go straight tank right afterwards.
That's actually what I was gonna mention. That's one of the reasons our basket fell apart so fast. Is the Malphite, whenever I would meditate, he would just ult me and that was it, I would die. So I was just chilling in the jungle and he would just ult me and one-shot me. So AP Malphite is really strong. He just sacrifices all that tanking. And if we were to be able to maybe pick the game up faster, snowball a bit faster, the AP Malphite would not have worked as well, I don't think. It's definitely situation. It's more situational.
It's more situational.
Just full, just basic tank Malphite.
Yeah, of course. Well, I'm glad to see you guys are learning from each experience, especially facing off against Northwest Bank. With how good their players are, you guys can pick up a little bit of tips and tricks to eventually become a lot better with each team comp. You can watch the VOD over, see what you guys did wrong, learn more from it. We have a little bit of a disturbance from the Peanut Gallery, though. There's a guy with glasses, and he's gone. Goodbye.
Yeah, no, I agree. There is a lot to learn from fighting teams that are better than you. For me, even though I play top lane for Chalk Bites, I do prefer playing the jungle role, and their jungler is really good, and it's interesting to see such an aggressive play style from him, and it's really good,
their Grandmaster jungler, he has some ridiculous pressure in that jungle when he counter jungles. Our jungler was level 3 for half the game.
Yeah, for real. He was bullied out of jungle every chance he's got. But yeah, I mean, it sucks losing, obviously, but it's a learning experience, fighting better teams.
Definitely, and I'm glad you guys are learning from it. Are you guys? So how much do you guys practice for this rec league? I mean, it's not that serious of a. It's a serious thing to work on, but it's not like it's a professional setting or even collegiate. But you're getting a lot of experience from it. But how much do you practice?
Our team, we haven't been practicing as much recently, but we had a pretty good practice schedule. We practice every couple of days. We get a couple games and work on comps and whatnot. We really wanted to solidify a team comp since that was one of our main problems. We scrimmaged against UC Banker.
Yeah.
Outside of the rec league, and we really wanted to work on team comp because that's the thing they had over us. They had a solid comp, and we just kind of had characters that didn't really synergize with each other just because we could play those characters. We had those characters on a team, so we wanted to work on maybe more of a, as I said before, the team fight comp with the Amumu and like Galio I pulled out 2 weeks ago, and then Misfortune was able to just shred through teams.
Yeah, I mean, we've changed a lot on our team since the first rec league. We changed up the roles a lot. He was top in the beginning, and then I got moved top, and then I was jungle for a little bit, and now he's mid, and our mid laner is now ADC. And it's just, we're trying to figure out how to best utilize everyone on the team, and through practices, like he said, recently we haven't been practicing as much, but before the last rec league we were at, we practiced a lot, and I think it helps us get we got a team comp together, team bases together, but now I think it's just time to practice on improving each of the roles on the team. But,
yeah, that's very understandable. Well, it was really good talking to you. Good to see you guys are improving every day and are going to be able to probably take a win at some point. Another couple wins,
yeah,
and eventually try to get a win off of Northwest Bank because they are the team to beat going into the gauntlet for sure.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's talk about the start, right?
Yeah, it looks like we're about to start. We have about 15 more seconds on the spectator delay. Any final words before we get into this game from you, Gavin?
About this game or just in general?
In general.
In general, learn from your losses and don't get tilted. That's all I've got to say about that.
The basket's broken.
The basket's
don't let
broken.
the basket get broken. And yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, no problem. All right, now we're gonna get into game. Our mouse guy is moving his the cursor like a rapid, so rapidly. Oh boy.
So excited to get into this game.
Oh, and Victory Store is going Team 5 skin. I like it. And versus Team 3 skin. So it looks like there's already a win from
Victory Store.
Victory Store. And so we're going into game. Oopsie daisies, wrong. Oh yeah, there we go. We're going to the game. I don't know if we'll see an invade this time. Maybe just a 5 points. Maybe just a 5-point startup, and then into pot 7. QC Bank could go for an invade with a Moo if he goes bandage toss first. And it looks like Victory Story is actually going for an invade. They do spot out the Alistar, but he knows better this time. Our Mankey Boy knows not to just stand still. It looks like Victory Story is just going to start backing. Garen wants to go back top immediately so he can catch up to Renekton. And we're gonna. It's just going to be a simple, easy life for both teams right now. There is a ward in the river so that people will catch up during the scuttle, possibly.
A little bit of an early word, but we do have the Xerath support for Victory Store that you did mention earlier. How do you want to see that play out in this game?
I want to see a lot of aggressive poking. Because Alistar is really good for an engage, but he does get poked down a lot by heavy range characters like Caitlyn and Xerath, so it's going to be really tough for Alistar to do any engaging for the Mumu who tries to go in. We do see Nunu is sneezing a little bit on the Caitlyn. The leash will be going both standard jungle clears, both red for blue side and blue for red side. They're going to be going, there might be a level 2 gank, who knows yet, but we're going to go right into game and see who is going to take it on. And Vigar's already getting some stacks. Yeah, buddy.
Typical Vigar early game, just focus on stacks. Katarina, I think, was a solid pick against the Vigar because Vigar can't necessarily lock her down with the cage. She can just shunpo out of it.
Definitely. And speed. Just massive trades, and as I said earlier, this is going to be really hard for QC Bank's bot lane to stay afloat, like to do a lot of engage tools because of how far back Xerath and Caitlyn can play and still be able to get a lot of damage onto the minions and onto the champions. I mean, a health pod was already there. Garen is able to do a lot of damage on a Renekton. He doesn't use his Ignite quite yet because the potions are up for whom that boy.
Oh, the Flash Q Ignite is going to get first blood for the Garen.
Oh my goodness. Oh. And see, look at that. QW combo. MF's a little bit chunked. There's not a lot of damage on Xerath yet because he doesn't have a lot of AP. But the fact that he could just do that is just going to be very oppressive, and Caitlyn's going to be able to farm up quite a bit. It looks like Marsh Boy is dodging a lot of skill shots though, so it's since Xerath has low mana right now, it's not going to do much for them. Nunu's coming in for a gank. Katarina's going to be in a pickle right now. She's going to have to try to flash. She does get away.
The red buff is not enough to kill in that situation. And there's not Ignite on Vigar or Nunu, so there was no solid way to officially secure the kill after the flash.
And it makes sense because since Katarina can just get on top of you right away, to try to take an exhaust, try to make sure she doesn't do much damage when she hits level 6. And so, but now that she has no flash, Nunu can come in for a second gank if he sees it fit. If he sees an opportunity to do that, he'll be able to go in for a gank and kill the Katarina. A lot of skill shots not hitting for Love Gun. Caitlyn is able to get a couple hits, but she steps a little too far forward, and Alistar was able to do the ground pound and make her pop her flash and heal. Love Gun is doing a lot of damage to Misfortune, so she doesn't move too far up to try to hit Caitlyn right now. But it's going back to lane stability. Mankey Boy is able to do a little bit more lane presence though because of how low each player is from Victory Store. So Victory Store's just bot lane duo is just gonna have to play a little back. They don't. What QC Bank doesn't know though is that Nunu is waiting in the brush, waiting to see if he can go get a snowball. And here comes the biggest snowball ever, going in, trying to hit it. Alistar does use the headbutt. Nunu's slowing down at Miss Fortune, but she's gonna pop her flash and heal. Ignite gonna be ticking onto her. Xerath almost getting the kill, and she's gonna be able to get away safely. So even though Flash and heal were taken away from the Misfortune, that was still really good of them to get away from the Nunu and the Xerath. So Ignite was popped by them. They already got the Flash and heal away from Caitlyn, so she wasn't able to flash ahead and try to get the auto attack. And so she's able to get out alive. She's able to retain his CS. She's not even that bad with CS right now. It's only a three CS difference.
One of the main things I saw, not necessarily a main thing, but one thing I noticed with the Nunu picked into the Misfortune. The Misfortune is quite low mobility. Besides the movement speed she gets, low mobility, so that the Nunu, when the snowball comes in, it completely forces her to change her pathing. And when the snowball was shot. After the Alistar had already hit the Nunu, the snowball kept going, making Misfortune have to walk back into the enemies, move back around.
Oh, and Garen's just going to dive the turret and land a Q ultimate onto Renekton. He's going to be able to push the tower even more. Holy cow.
He's going to get some plating off that, and as I was saying, Misfortune is going to have to change all of her some pathing when the Nunu comes in with the snowball, because the snowball will keep going even after Alistar is able to CC him. So, Misfortune, being quite low mobility, is going to have to adjust and maybe not be as aggressive, shove lane as hard, or push up, because Nunu can just come in with the snowball, and it's going to be a bigger trouble for Misfortune to react to it without having to burn any summoner spells, which in last of it you saw I had to burn both. Looks like 4 layers of plating are almost going to be got for Garen. Because of that kill, he was able to get top lane.
Yeah, he's already up 2-0 against him, against Whom Dat Boy, and he already has 450 gold bounty on his head. And Renekton's only level 5. It's gonna be really hard for him to do anything. A lot of damage going on to Marshbury, as he was alone. Alistar was gone, and Marshbury decided that he thought he could get a lot of damage. A lot of farm, but he is getting chunked like crazy right now. So now he's gonna have to back and miss this huge wave that's gonna be crashing into the tower. So the bot lane for Victory Store is gonna be able to get a lot more turret plating knocked out as well.
We see the bot lane being extremely oppressive due to the 2 long-range champions that they have, very poke-heavy champs. Xerath, in specific, being that poke-heavy support with the Arcade Comet, able to just throw Qs out over and over, able to poke and whittle down bot lane's health.
It looks like looks like jungle in the Dragon Pit. There's a little fight going on. It looks like there's a fight in the jungle pit, but Dragon wasn't taken. Amumu had to flash away. It looks like Xerath is going to be able to poke Misfortune a little bit. Alistar is going to try to go in, but both the bot lane duo of Victory Store knows that there's nothing going on. Alistar is going to flash and headbutt, get the ground pound onto Caitlyn. And Mumu is going to be able to land his ultimate as well, and they're going to secure a kill onto Caitlyn.
That was, I would say, that was worth it for QC Bank there. Caitlyn did burn the flash, the heal. And all QC Bank lost was the flash from Alistar.
And it looks like QC Bank's going to go onto the Dragon Pit right now and take the Air Drake. And it serves them right to do that. They can, with the kill that they secured on the Caitlyn, they were able to get that. But Nunu is up, and he does have Smite and his Consume, so if he were to be able to get in there, he'd be able to get the Dragon really easily. Victory Store at the moment as well just took the first turret already 8 minutes in. And 8 minutes into the game, Mamumu does secure the Dragon, and they were trying to get some kills here, but the trap from Vygar is able to trap in both Cat and Alistar, and they're going to be able to pick up another kill.
As we see in this game, Viger is getting a little bit more of a fast start than he did last game, which is going to make him a top priority target moving into later portions of the game, where he's going to have arguably the highest damage on their entire team. Is that even arguable? I mean, I'm pretty sure the Viger is one of the highest damaging characters in the entire game.
In this game, I would say yes. As Caitlyn moves up to get more kills, though, I think that when she gets her items, her crit items, that she's going to be able to half health about anybody on the team. That's Squishy, probably Misfortune and Katarina. It's going to be really hard for them to go into Caitlyn, especially with how the comp works for Victory Store and how they can CC. They can control the movement of everybody during a team fight. But the ultimate of Vigar is really oppressive. It's going to be scary for when he gets his stacks going and when he's able to do a lot more damage.
Yeah, as we can see, bot lane, there's just constant poke going on. They're barely able to farm even under tower due to the Xerath. And Garen actually made his trip bot lane, is going to help them take this bot tower.
Oh, and he's going to land. Oh, Caitlyn's going to be able to pick up the kill onto Alistar as well. Victory Star is landing up the kills onto him. I don't think QC Bank should be trying to protect this turret while Victory Store is pushing. I mean, they already have so much of a lead. It's going to be giving them more. And Xerath getting his ult out, trying to land it onto Misfortune, trying to get just away from the tower so they can secure another one. And they're going to get the second tower of the game 10 minutes in. Now, what do you think that QC Bank should be doing to try to bring themselves back into this game?
I mean, it really does depend on on how Victory Store does play their lead. Now, bot lane is relatively even in farm. The AD carries are even in farm. Misfortune has not died once. The top laner is down in CS. They're gonna need. I think they're gonna need to maybe just almost stall them out. Like, don't let, like, maybe try to stop the bleeding with because they've gotten 2 towers now. Garen's gonna be able to roam a lot more. They're gonna need to stop. They're gonna need to be able to hold off the objectives they're gonna be able to take, especially with Garen roaming around. He's just gonna move back top and clear the wave, as we see now. They're not. Silver Act is not gonna be able to capitalize, be able to push the wave any further. To make a long story short, to stop the bleeding.
Yep. And it doesn't look like they're going to be able to stop the bleeding if Reen just ends up dying here. She's going to get ulted on by Caitlyn, and she's going to have to run away. Otherwise, Vigar's just going to have just straight up ult.
He did not seem to be get in range there. I can only imagine he was mashing R on his keyboard.
And while that was happening, Garen ended up getting another kill onto Renekton. He's currently 4-0 with a 750 gold bounty on his head, and mid lane's being shoved up by 3 champions right now, and it's getting really grim for QC Bank. They're down about almost 6k. It's gonna be really hard. And Alistar's gonna go in for an engage, but he's got nobody to follow up other than the turret, and it's not gonna really help him. He's not gonna take a lot of. He's gonna step on the traps and take a lot of damage. And Moomoo's gonna go in, landing an ult. That's gonna be 2 ults. Misfortune landing hers as well, getting a kill onto him. A flash is gonna go on. Vigar's gonna end up dying from Mankey Boy's ignite. But Garen's coming in from the bat lane. So is a Nunu following up. Double kill going on to Garen with killing a Mumu and Alistar. And even though that was a really good engage by Victory Store, they were able to get a couple kills by QC Bank. They were able to get a couple kills onto the Caitlyn and onto the Vigar. But what ended up happening is they didn't realize that Garen and Nunu were on their way behind them, and they were able to capitalize on top of the low health characters of Alistar and Mumu and kill them both.
As we see in this game, Garen is a very opposing presence at the moment, being 6-0 with the 1,000 gold bounty. The Triforce is allowing him to do extreme amounts of damage. He's going to have a lot of single target damage, especially to that villain with the true damage of the ult. So shutting down Garen is going to be one of the main parts in winning fights, especially when he's going to be able to get those items earlier, and he's going to be extremely tanky later on.
Moon's trying lands the bandage toss on the Caitlyn, but he's not able to capitalize because Caitlyn was able to flash out. It looks like Garen's just gonna keep on trying to push. I mean, he's 6-0. He's gonna keep landing abilities on top of Alistar. Gonna keep on going. It looks like they're gonna try to get a kill onto Alistar. He's gonna have to flash away. Mankey Boy's gonna get away cleanly, but on the cost of a flash. And it looks like Renekton's gonna try to shove top all by himself, but Victory Store is gonna be able to take the neutral objective of Air Drake, stealing it away from QC Bank, not letting them get it. We'll see if QC Bank's able to pull it through. I mean, they are taking a couple of kills. They're only down 5k now. It's going back and forth. QC Bank are playing a lot better than they were last game, getting kills onto their 80 carries. Misfortune was able to get more kills this game. Renekton did end up picking up on the tower, so they're doing well on that as well.
What we've been seeing so far from this game is Katarina playing quite safe. As we can see, she hasn't died a single time, hasn't gotten an assist. Nothing too extreme happening from the Katarina, and I'm actually looking forward to seeing what Katarina has to offer later in the game, especially against the Veigar, the low mobility mage, being able to deal with that and maybe single him out.
When we see we have a play coming in, Amumu is going to be able to follow up. Garen is in quite of a pickle, but Alistar headbutts Hangman away, and I think he's going to be able to get out. This is a very unfortunate play happening from QC Bank. I think that's pretty tilting. Uh-oh.
That was an 1,000 gold bounty that they did sacrifice over that headbutt. That's gonna. I imagine that
would be pretty tilting.
That's
pretty tilting.
That would probably tilt some people.
I'd be tilted. I'd be yelling at my teammates, "What are you doing?"
He thought they had already secured the kill and was going for a BM headbutt. But as we see, Katarina being able to just make it out of every single situation or pickle that she finds herself in, and a solo kill seems to be coming out for Nolan, or Marsh Boy, and a fight is starting here. Veigar ults the Katarina. Katarina lives with the smallest amount of health.
She lived with 5 health there. And it looks like the QC Bank aren't able to capitalize and try to get anything out of this, though. They weren't able to get a kill other than the Caitlyn dying earlier. But Misfortune, their Misfortune, Marshbui has 2 kills on his. He has 2 kills right now, so he's going to be trying to go. They're getting him, trying to snowball him so that they can get more of a lead later on. And it looks like Victory Store is just going to try to push mid lane, try to get a little bit more in the mid, and they might start Baron now. They do, well, not Baron, Rift. They're trying to get Rift Tail maybe. There goes Garen pushing down the mid lane, getting a kill on Renekton. He doesn't really care about the turret. Really doesn't care about anybody right now. He has 2 items already. I think he might just could 1v9 at this point.
Pretty sure the only thing that Garen really has to do at this point in the game is press W and then let Sterix pop off, and then he has shield, and he can kind of just sit there and soak damage while his team does the rest.
Yeah, Peanut Gallery doesn't like Garen that much. They don't like the 7-0 1,000 gold bounty coming around. Nunu did end up picking up Rift Herald, so wherever he places it, it might be nice, because if he can place it between like 19 minutes, they can get it down, have it split push, while possibly Victory Store can get the Baron. Nope, Zerath, you missed. There's nothing there for you. You're not going to be able to get anything. Try again later. And the gold lead is still stayed at 6k. I mean, it is a pretty big gold lead, but it hasn't overwhelmed QC Bank yet. They can still come back from this. With the amount of picks that Misfortune is able to pick up, they're able to rethink. They have to rethink the strategy, how they go around this. Maybe get some picks, but they are able to get some kills, and they're able to keep their jungle intact. But Garen is the person that they have to worry about the most. And it looks like the Rift Tail was spawned in the bot lane, while Garen is shoving top. It's a really good split push tactic. So they have bottom lane and top lane being pushed both sides. And it looks like they're going to try to get both inhibitor turrets and inhibitors. Garen's already on his way. Garen has 2 people on his sights, but that's a really big chunk damage. He does ignite Q. He doesn't kill the Katarina. I don't...
She escapes with another 14 health.
14 health. Holy cow. And the inhibitor towers don't get taken at all from either side. Garen is still going to pressure a lot, but neither team, or neither side for Victory Store are able to get an inhibitor turret. Don't mind me. I'm yawning a little bit. It's cold in here.
Garen's able to just move from lane to lane, just keep pushing, keep adding on to that gold lead. It's going to get harder and harder as QC Bank keeps getting put in that gold deficit.
Lager is still looking for those traps. He's trying to find somebody to pick off so he can get more AP. I mean, he's doing really well too. Socrates is going to try to get a lot more AP items. I mean, he already has his Ludens. He could straight up build tank if he wants now. I've seen Vigars build Abyssal Mask into it's Dead Man's Plates. They build 1 AP item, or maybe 2, and they'll just build up. Like, he'll just build, with all the passive AP he gets, he can just build full-on tank. It's crazy. I don't understand it.
Seems like Victory Store is just going to be able to siege down the bot lane towers. They're not going to be able to react too much. This seems to be a pick with the Viger. He ulting the Katarina getting her first death. The Misfortune coming out and killing the Viger in the process. Garen is going to flash onto the Misfortune, ult her. She's going to have to heal, and she gets away.
Man, that game, this game's really looking grim from QC Bank. The way they need to come back now is if Alistar can land something onto him. But it looks like there's just so much pressure coming in from Victory Store. They're just going to try to end it now. They don't think they even need Baron. Caitlyn's setting up some traps, trying to get some picks going, trying to get some kills, but it looks like that QC Bank is just respawn and they're going to get their out of the spot. Victory Store is just going to head back. Maybe they'll reset and go to Baron. It looks like there's more. So it looks like their Victory Store might be setting up for Baron. They're trying to get a pick actually onto the Renekton up in the top lane right now. Renekton's not in a very safe place. Nunu and Caitlyn are both up there, and they pick up the kill onto Whom Dat Boy. So it looks like they might try to shove top lane. Xerath is still in mid lane. He's going to try to get that mid lane shoved, even though the mid inhibitor is gone.
Looks to be a huge push going on top lane. They're not able to contest this Garen. This Garen is just too tanky, too much damage. He has a Yomu's. He's going to be doing a lot of damage.
Full damage Garen, I love it. I used to play full damage Garen. There was a lot of and there's a pin going on. Nunu's going to use his ult. I don't know what he needed that for. Amumu lands a really sick ultimate though as well. Caitlyn's almost dead, but she's not. She's going to survive the kill.
Not enough damage was able to come out from the Misfortune. Misfortune is getting absolutely dominated by every single.
And it looks like a four men are down for the side of QC Bank, and only Renekton is left to. QC Bank looks like the only person they have left is Renekton. I don't think he's going to be able to defend the base. It's in shambles.
This looks like a push to win here for Victory Store. It looks like they're going to end the game right now, going 2-0 against QC Bank. Pretty good games we saw from both the teams here.
The GGs are called out, and it looks like we're going to be going 2-0 Victory Store. Two pretty good games from both sides, I'd say. QC Bank showing that it had some life in both of the games, but overall, Victory Store took it to them. They showed them what was up. No, we're not going to do player interviews this week. We're kind of short on time, so we started a little late due to a little bit of a hassle. I don't know what went on there, but we'll make sure to go back to those next week. But talking about the games, Victory Store were able to capitalize on the leads that they had. They were playing a little bit of a slower paced game, but they ended up taking that and not having to use any of the objectives that they gained, and any neutral objectives. They were able to take it with raw, pure damage.
I really want to, since we're not doing player reviews, I'm just gonna point somebody out that the top laner for Victory
Yeah.
Store was definitely a main player in
Yes.
these 2 games. He definitely showed out both of the games, able to establish a lead, keep the lead, and help his team help his team around the map. So
Yeah, he was the focal point of their team. He with Renekton, he was able to get a lot of split pushing done, and with Garen the same thing. But mostly with Renekton, he was able to do a lot more team fighting. He is a very heavy team fighter as well, getting a lot of stuns onto the AD carries, able to suppress Caitlyn from doing anything in the first game. And then with Garen, he was able to get a lot of solo kills onto the Renekton he was facing off. I mean, he knows the matchup so well. He ended up going 7-0, 10 minutes in almost, and then being able to split push the inhibitor turret while the rest of the team could do whatever they want.
you know, such a threat since the AD carry for QC Bank almost always had the villain on her. So she was always getting forced out of the fight because Garen would just flash on her and get a huge chunk of damage from Q ult, and she would be forced out of the fight, which was most of their damage, and that would just the rest of QC Victory Store would just stroll through.
They would stroll right through. There was 2 really good games though. The QC Bank did show a little bit of life with their AD carry that second game especially. MF was able to pick up 2 kills, get a little bit of a snowball lead. She did get an item, but it ended up being null and void after the split push came from top and bottom with the Rift Hero. And with that, that was 2-0 for Victory Store. I think we're going to end the stream now. We're going to end the stream now. Thanks again for watching, everybody. I'm going to thank the sponsors, St. Ambrose University, Respawn, Intel, and Video Games, etc. We hope to see you guys again next week for League of Legends Rec League, the League of Legends Rec League Week 5. Thanks for watching.